school football game of the week. Brought to you by Ford of Tulsa.
And welcome to Father Hamill Field in Tulsa. For tonight, the Holland Hall Dutchmen will take on the Cascia Hall Commandos in the Cox Communication Oklahoma Ford Dealers Game of the Week. Hello, everybody. I'm Mick Cornett along with J.V. Haney. And, J.V., this is a big rivalry.
A big rivalry, one that will match any rivalry in the state of Oklahoma, in which these two schools, very similar, will have bragging rights for 12 months.
Let's take a look at some highlights from last year's game, and it was very close early on. This pass right here tied it up 7-7, and Coach Medina was clearly worried about the Dutchman closing the gap, but he went to his ground game, and it was all over. 30 straight points, and Cascia Hall goes on to win it 37-7. Tonight, the rivalry continues. We've got two good coaches on the field tonight.
Outstanding coaches. Ted Gross from Holland Hall, Joe Medina from Cascia Hall, both graduated from the respective schools, both outstanding young coaches.
What do you think the keys of the game will be?
Well, the keys, when you take a look at it from the standpoint of Holland Hall, they've got to play well on special teams. They've really got to match the intensity that Cascia Hall puts out, and then turnovers, always so crucial. They have to take care of turnovers.
And Cascia Hall also got to eliminate turnovers, minimize penalties, and JV, they need to be patient. Now, individually, who should we watch tonight?
Well, I think individually that you have to watch for Holland Hall. You've got to watch the running back in there, Nick Bunning, an outstanding running back that can really take the ball on the ground. You can't tackle him with your arms. You have to tackle him head up. And
we got a quarterback who's never started a game, so that'll be interesting to watch. And we'll watch it right here on Cox. It's your Oklahoma Ford Dealers Game of the Week, and it's coming up next.
You're watching Cox Communications Channel 3, Oklahoma City, Channel 9, Tulsa. Local, like no one else.
The Ford of Tulsa Game of the Week is brought to you by the Carpet Center at 121st and Memorial, your decorating showplace. Eastern Oklahoma Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Center. SWAT, Students Working Against Tobacco. And by Cox Communications, local like no one else.
Here in Oklahoma, there's a few things we're sure of, but there's no better way to spend a lazy afternoon than with great company in a great Ford truck from Ford of Tulsa. People drive from all over Oklahoma and as far away as Arkansas and even Texas to take advantage of prices that only Ford of Tulsa can offer. Not to mention the largest selection around. The best place to get your truck is in your own backyard.
At the Carpet Center, we are your decorating showplace, featuring many styles and designs from most major mills. We also have one of the largest selections of ceramic tile and natural stone in the Tulsa area. Visit our rug gallery for a great selection of Southwest, contemporary, or traditional area rugs. Window treatments from Hunter Douglas can add a finishing touch to any room in your home. For the ultimate decorating experience, shop the Carpet Center at 121st and South Memorial.
If you or someone you know gets cable service without paying, you could be fined up to $1,000 and or spend up to 6 months in jail. Cox Communications wants to protect our paying customers. That's why we're cracking down on cable theft. Each year, Cox pays the city millions of dollars in franchise fees. If you're stealing cable, you're actually stealing from community funding, like police and fire departments and city parks. To make yourself legal, no questions asked, or to report cable theft, call Cox Communications at 669-4700 today.
And welcome back to Hamill Field, where tonight the Holland Hall Dutchmen take on the Cascia Hall Commandos. Mick Cornett with J.V. Haney. They just had the coin toss. Cascia Hall won the toss, but deferred its decision till the second half. Holland Hall said, well, we'll take the football, and that's where we are, J.V.
Well, I'm not surprised at Joe Medina wanting to really take the football and kick it off first and see just exactly what happens, because he's so proud of the defense. They've had a great defensive unit at Cascia Hall for so many years that he'd like to get on defense and stay there first, maybe.
Tyler Pagel and Zach Emmel are back deep for Holland Hall. High and short, taken by an up back at the 21-yard line. Finds a gap, 35, and hit hard at the 37-yard line. Nice return by Zach Parkreeder, and it gives Holland Hall some pretty good field position.
And, that's an outstanding tackle in there, just a head-up tackle in there by Aaron Spongy. He just really stood Jack straight up in there and was able to knock him down, and that's going to be a taste, Mick, of what we're going to see. These two teams will hit each other hard.
Opening possession of the ball game. No score in Tulsa. Holland Hall with the football in red. Cascia Hall in white. Holland Hall going from left to right. Nathan Crosby, the quarterback, I formation, and he still got it, wanting to throw. Does. Incomplete. Pass was intended for number 9 for Holland Hall, and that would be Alex Detweiler.
You're going to find some multiple offenses run here, even though Holland Hall will run primarily out of the I formation. But with their outstanding running back, they're going to throw some to try to open it up for him.
2 wide receivers left, 1 right. Nick Bunning is the tailback behind Nathan Crosby. Emmel in motion. And this is Bunning circling outside. 40, 45, first down and more. 40, 35. And he finally steps out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Huge pickup for Nick Bunning, and JV before the game you said that was one of the guys to watch.
He is certainly a guy to watch, and if you'll notice on this, he makes a little dip inside, and then when he gets outside, he's got that great speed that he can get on around the corner and pick up that extra yardage, but he is certainly the running back to watch. And as we said a second ago, Mick, to open it up for him, they're going to throw some, so we're going to see a lot of diversity here in the Dutchman offense.
So 1st and 10 for Nathan Crosby and the Dutchman. He's taking a long look at the Cascia Hall defense. Throws on first down. Incomplete, intended for Kevin Lewis. He throws a lot of zip on that ball.
I tell you what, he is showing us that he really can throw the football and throw it in there straight. But, he is a transfer in from the Union Public School District, and he was played a lot over there under Bill Blankenship, who was a passing quarterback, and Tad Gross, also a very offensive-minded young coach. So he just picked up where he left off, and he can throw the football.
Well, 2 first down calls, and they've thrown on both of them. Now it's 2nd down and 10. Crosby wants to throw in the pocket, plenty of time, over the middle, incomplete. Zach Emmel, the intended receiver, and it'll set up 3rd down and 10. Good protection. Well, I tell you, the offensive line's doing a really good job early.
When you give a quarterback like Crosby enough time, that he's going to pick him out. And Zach Emmel, normally a very sure-handed wide receiver for the Dutchman, wasn't able to bring it in. But you're right, outstanding job in forming the cup and keeping the defense off the quarterback.
Well, so many quarterbacks want to just take off running after 2 or 3 seconds, but Crosby hung in there, stepped up in the pocket, exactly like they teach it. 3rd down and 10.
That's right. That was playbook. That was clinic book, the way he did it.
Rolls out, Bunning to block, and he throws. It's a little low, but the receiver goes down and makes the catch just slightly short of the first down marker. That's Clayton Gibson. I think he's going to be, well, he got a pretty good spot. I said he was just short. Let me hold up on that a minute because they're going to bring the sticks across the field.
It's going to be close, but again, a lot of time there on the sprint out that Crosby had in order to picking out Clayton Gibson, the wide receiver, and completing the pass, and another first down.
Great catch by Gibson, and it is enough for a first down, so they've advanced the ball down to the 24-yard line. Well, this is the 3rd time they faced a first down situation. They threw on the first 2 downs. We'll see what they want to do here. And we've got a delay of game penalty. Crosby took his time, eventually put Gibson in motion, and I noticed that Gibson even seemed surprised that he was being put in motion, but apparently Crosby was trying to check something.
And that happens the first game of the season. I don't care how much you practice, how much you rehearse it. In the scrimmages, you're going to get those miscommunications, and you get those delay of game calls early in the season. Now, if this happened in the 8th game, I think the coaching staff would be extremely upset about it, but you pretty much have to go along with the kids early in the season.
Joe Medina hoping his defense can put a halt to it right here. Penalty makes it 1st down and 15. And the ball's been spotted back to the 29-yard line. Opening possession of the game, no score between Holland Hall and Cascia Hall. This is Bunning picking his way across the 25. He got the 5 yards back, so now it'll be 2nd down and 10.
And that's what we were talking about in the pregame here, the fact that Bunning is such a strong runner that you're not going to take him down if you go after him below the waist, and he'll drag you along, and he picks up 5 yards in basically on his own.
Robbie, wide a little on that.
It's a good look at Tad Gross over there visiting with his coaches upstairs. 2 great young coaches here, Nick.
Harkreader in motion. Play action. Evades the rush. Now Crosby lets it fly. Tipped up into the air and incomplete. Really nice defensive play by number 85, Manuel Calvin of Cascia Hall. One of those balls that could have been intercepted if he'd had a teammate in the right area, but it'll bring up 3rd down and 10 nonetheless.
And when they go back and look at the tape on that, Crosby might wish that he'd have gone ahead and run the football. He could have probably picked up another 5 or 6 yards, but you know, on instinct, you got to go with what you feel has been called, and if you think you can complete it, you got to go with it. But it was a good play in there by Calvin Manuel, the defensive back for the Commandos.
Harkreader is wide to the left. Emmel is slot left. Bunning is the tailback, and the quarterback is Nathan Crosby. He's looking for Lewis. Slant pass, great throw, nice catch, and once again, he's very near a 1st down marker. I'm not going to try to guess whether he got it or not this time, but Lewis made a nice catch, got great position on the defensive back. And he's just short, JV. Less than a yard to go on 4th down. What do you do?
You know, I'm sure that what they're going to do there, they're going to go for they're not going to try a field goal. They don't look for a field goal maybe to win this game.
3-step drop and a nifty pass. Manuel Calvin was the defender for the Commandos who applied the hit. Well, they at least want to think it over. 4th down and about 1.5 feet. Opening possession of the game on a beautiful night in Tulsa.
You know, you always have 2 things to look at when you get in a situation like this. If they go for it and don't make it, that's kind of a depressing for the offense. It's a great inspiration for the defense. But at the same time, do you have confidence in your offense? With a guy like Bunning, you think maybe we can just give it to him and he'll get us a yard, maybe 2 yards. So it's something that the coaching staff has to make a decision on, and whichever way they make it, there's always 50% think they're wrong.
Once this game is over, we'll re-rack the tape and show it to you again. You'll be able to watch the game in its entirety tonight. Channel 3 in Oklahoma City, Channel 9 in Tulsa, right here on the same station. Your Ford of Tulsa Game of the Week.
Manuel Calvin has certainly shown us some hard hitting coming out of his defensive back position so far, and 2 attempts over there on his side while he broke up one and was able to stop the second one.
Well, I know the coaching staff is excited about his covering ability. But, you know, it's hard to stop that slant, you know, when you're out there isolated like that. Full I formation this time. Zach Hawkins has come into the game at fullback. Double tight end set. And they're holding up the game for some reason.
They get a good look down there at the referee.
This will be the 9th play of the drive. If you're wondering, it would be a 31-yard field goal attempt, but they've decided to apparently go for it. 4th down, less than a yard to go. And it looked like there was movement on the Holland Hall offensive line on the right side.
And those are the errors that you really just makes a coach's hair turn gray when you get those errors up on the line in situations like that. But again, Mickle, I'll always defend the kids early in the season. Those things are going to happen. They're excited. There's a lot of adrenaline running, and they'll just do things that they normally wouldn't do.
So they're still going for it, but now it's 4th and just over 5. Crosby wants to throw in the pocket, lets it fly, complete to Lewis, and Lewis has a 1st down, and now the ball is loose. A scramble. Cascia Hall thinks it has it, still waiting for a referee to confer. I've yet to see an official signal, but Cascia Hall's defense is running off the field. JV, take a look at what happened. Hey, they've decided that Holland Hall keeps the ball. Holland Hall keeps the ball, and that'll be a new 1st down. Okay, here's the play.
Well, we get a good look at Crosby going back and setting up, and he hits Kevin Lewis out in the left flat. And you can see he turns up. He's got the 1st down right down. There the ball comes out. It definitely was not down. It was out and loose, but maybe Holland Hall covered it instead of Cascia Hall. But the Cascia Hall kids certainly thought they had it.
It's 1st down and goal just inside the 10-yard line. Very impressive opening drive. They hand it off. This is Bunning up the middle. Well, he's tough to bring down. Didn't gain much, but it was a long play.
I tell you, Bunning is really a strong runner, and he's a strong lower body. His legs and his thighs are big, and he's got that strength, and you just can't arm tackle him. You're going to have to hit him head up.
6'1", 195-pound junior. Picked up 4 hard-earned yards inside. It'll be 2nd down and goal. You know what? It's not goal. They can technically get a first down at about the 1-foot-yard line. So it's 2nd down and 6 from the 6. Hand off to Bunning again. He shakes 2 or 3 tackles, never does go down, but he's blown dead at about the 9-yard line, so he lost a couple of yards, and it'll be 3rd down and 9 from the 9.
Good swarming defense there that the Cascia Hall Commandos put up, and that's kind of a trademark of Coach Medina, that he calls it his blue swarm, and they have 11 men around that football most of the time.
I believe this is the 12th play of the drive. Opening possession of the game, just over 8 minutes to play in the first quarter. No score. Crosby to throw into the end zone, and it's caught, and it's a touchdown. Jack Harkreeder.
Jack Harkreeder, good catch.
Harkreeder really showing you some great hands. Crosby delivered that ball, and that wasn't one of those soft ones. He had some smoke on it, but Jack Harkreeder was able just to reach up and grab it. Great play.
Zach Emelon to try the extra point. He nailed it. Well, an impressive opening drive ends when Harkreeder catches Crosby's pass for the touchdown. It's 7-0. Holland Hall in front. We'll be right back.
You're watching Cox Communications Channel 3, Oklahoma City, Channel 9, Tulsa. Local, like no one else.
At Ford of Tulsa, we declare it's good to be king, and we promise to rise up to any challenge. The new Ford Explorer versus Chevy Trailblazer. Explorer costs less, it's roomier, has more safety features, and gets better gas mileage. The new Ford Expedition versus Chevy Tahoe. Expedition costs thousands less, has more torque, seating, and towing capacity, and better gas mileage. Ford of Tulsa, home of America's #1 selling trucks. No comparison. Like a rock, sinks every time.
If you or someone you know gets cable service without paying, you could be fined up to $1,000 and or spend up to 6 months in jail. Cox Communications wants to protect our paying customers. That's why we're cracking down on cable theft. Each year, Cox pays the city millions of dollars in franchise fees. If you're stealing cable, you're actually stealing from community funding, like police and fire departments and city parks. To make yourself legal, no questions asked, or to report cable theft, call Cox Communications at 669-4700 today.
You talk about rivalry, it doesn't get any bigger than this. Holland Hall and Cascia Hall. If you didn't know any better, you think it was last Friday night with TU and OU. A big drive by Holland Hall. This is going to be an interesting game, just like JV and Bart said. Back to you guys.
All right, Rod Thompson, thank you. Here comes the kick from Zad Emel. Rob Pritchard and Tyler Hart are back deep to return it for Cascia Hall.
Always an interesting part, I think, in a football game, Mick, when one team takes it on the first possession and drives and scores. Now you get the reaction of the other team, because most of the time you don't expect that to happen.
And whistles go off. I think the kicking team may have been offside. Let's check it out. Pretty good kick. It is offside, though.
It really was an excellent kick, and we said a second ago, the adrenaline is running for the Dutchman, and they are anxious to get downfield. You know, the referee tonight, Tuggle Bond, out of Bartlesville, Oklahoma, is starting his 50th year officiating high school football in the state of Oklahoma. Now, that may not be a record, but it will go for someone to top it.
Well, they'll push him back 5 yards, and Zach Emel will try it again. 7:59 to play first quarter. The visiting Holland Hall Dutchman in front 7-0. Here comes Emmel's kick. And it's still in play, and Hart picks it up. 15-yard line. Penalty marker comes out. He's down at about the 20. It was one of those kicks, JV, where he thought it was going to go out of bounds. Let's take a look at that touchdown again. Brilliant pass.
A great pass in there by Crosby, the quarterback from Holland Hall. He goes back and sets up very quickly, and now he rifles that ball right in there to Harkreader, and some great hands by Jack Harkreader there, Mac, because he just went up and brought the ball right down.
Penalty flag came in at about the time the return man was being tackled. The referees are sorting it out. Player was tackled at about the 20-yard line. And looks like they're pushing the offense back.
Half the distance to goal line on the return team. First down.
So they push him back half the distance, and they're back to the 9-yard line. Ouch.
Togobon there, the official, was visiting with him before the game, Mick, and he said like 16 state championship football games he has refereed, along with Tony Silva and the other crew. This is a good crew tonight.
Handoff up the middle, nothing going on there. And one of the officials I saw was Stan Bond.
Stan is Tuggle's son.
Really, that would be the former Oklahoma State center fielder who made maybe the greatest catch in College World Series history. And I know that's a big statement, but it was a great catch.
He was an outstanding baseball player for Gary Ward over at Oklahoma State back several years ago. Can't remember.
That was, I'm going to guess that was 81. He was on that 81 team, I think, that went to the championship game, wasn't
I think it was early 80s.
Yeah. I think he played with Jim Traber and Mickey Tettleton, and really a fine team.
That's pretty good baseball players.
2-yard gain, 2nd down and 8 now. Handoff goes up the middle. And Aaron Spoggy finds the running tough inside.
Number 13 on the stop. Good game. The 3rd and 8.
It's going to be 3rd down and 8. Cascia Hall won the state championship as recently as 1999.
They were in the state championship finals last year. Who was it? Oklahoma City Millwood that beat them in the.
Well, Millwood won 2A
in the championship game.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's Millwood's a tough team.
And both these teams are picked Millwood #1 in the state, Cascia Hall #2.
Nice pass, nice catch. 1st down, Cascia Hall up at the 20-yard line. Grabbing onto the ball is Rob Pritchard.
Well, we talked about Rob Pritchard earlier, and he is an outstanding wide receiver, and he's got great hands. He can run the football after he catches it, but here, that's great concentration coming in and just hanging on to the football, picking up a couple of steps after he catches it, but he runs good, clean patterns, got good hands, good receiver.
1st and 10 at the 20. Jack Swab is the quarterback. 2 running backs behind him, and he hands off to Spoggy. Stood up at the line of scrimmage. Hey, the running's tough inside.
The defensive line is for Holland Hall really firing off the ball, Mick. I mean, they're coming off very quickly and coming off with a lot of authority.
5 minutes, 50 seconds to play in the 1st quarter. Holland Hall took the opening kickoff, marched it right down the field, and got a touchdown. Now Cascia Hall, on its opening possession, has earned a 1st down and moved the ball out across the 20 where it faces 2nd down and 9. And penalty markers come out. Both teams employ that old 5-man front, the Oklahoma defense,
yes.
Although just about everybody has variations these days. They're pretty traditional in style.
And really, Mick, when you go back and you look, well, they have a lot of new terminology in all sports, but it's still pretty basic, and they still run a lot of things they did 30 years ago.
5-yard penalty makes it 2nd down and 14. Ball's been spotted back to the 15.
15.
Pritchard is wide to the left. Throwing another deep ball out to the near side to Stu Price. Couldn't quite bring it down. It'll be 3rd down.
You know, this is a 35th meeting You see Coach Medina there, and he's got his game face on tonight. He knows this is always a battle. He graduated from Cascia Hall. He played against Holland Hall in high school, and now has come back and coaching against them. The first year he was at Cascia Hall, they had an outstanding game, a very close game. He came from behind to win at Holland Hall and went on and won a state championship that first year.
3rd down and 15. They converted on 3rd and 9 just moments ago. This time they're going to run it. Gain of about 5 up the middle for, well, that's not Spoggy. That's Gavin Sedlacek.
Sedlacek, he is one of the players that played great last year for Coach Medina here. Gavin Sedlacek, two-way player. As a lot of these players, Mick, if you notice on both teams, and sometimes that really takes its toll on the energy and the level as they get down into the 4th quarter.
Bad snap over Hart's head, and he takes it out of the end zone, and it's a safety. Take a look here. Snap comes back a little bit tall. Hart couldn't get it.
Not much chance of him getting it. You notice the ball will go out of the end zone. Of course, as soon as it goes out of the end zone, that's an automatic safety, and the official blew the whistle. But great effort in there by Taylor Hart. He's trying to get it out of there, wasn't he?
We're going to take a break. 9-0, Holland Hall in front. 4:38 to play, first quarter in your Ford of Tulsa game of the week.
You're watching Cox Communications Channel 3, Oklahoma City, Channel 9, Tulsa. Local, like no one else.
The Backdoor Cajun Music Festival is coming to the Williams Center Green Saturday, September 7th from noon to 11 p.m. You'll love the toe-tapping beat of Cajun and Zydeco music straight from Louisiana. This year's featured bands are Steve Riley and the Mamu Playboys, Zydeco Force, Filet, and Jeremy and the Zydeco Hot Boys. There'll be lots of music, food, and fun, so bring your blanket and meet your friends at the Backdoor Cajun Music Festival. Brought to you by these fine sponsors.
Hi friends, Virgil Klaus for the Carpet Center. Did you know that ceramic tile is the floor covering for the future? With so many custom designs that can be done, many become art form. Slates, marbles, and granites can change the look of any area in your home. At the Carpet Center, we offer a wide selection from the largest importers in the United States. Don't forget our area rug gallery with several hundred rugs in stock, round, oval, and runners. Also custom designed natural fiber rugs. The Carpet Center at 121st and South Memorial.
9-0, Holland Hall in front of Cascia Hall. Free kick opportunity from the 20. Basically, that means you can kick it off a tee, or if you'd like, you can punt it. But whatever you do, you're going to have to do it from your own 20-yard line, and that's a 20-yard, I'll call it a penalty for lack of a better term, that comes after a safety.
Well, that's exactly what it is, Mick. It is a penalty, and it certainly will allow the opposition, and in this case, the Dutchman from Holland Hall, an opportunity to get good field position for, again, the second time in this period.
Spoggy kicks it off, and it's grabbed by Michael Wright. He gets it across the 50, and Holland Hall has a 9-0 lead, and they'll be up to the 47-yard line.
This is the 35th meeting between these two schools, and Cascia Hall leads the series 21-13. And a very interesting note that when they first started back in '66, Charlie Brown, who's a Hall of Famer, was the coach at Holland Hall, and Angelo Prasa at Kelly.
Here's a question for you. Which Green Country school has the best chance of winning a state championship this year? We'll have that when we get back. Let's take a look here at this first down play from the 46. Hand off to Justin Butler, who gets across the 45 up to the 43. Again, which Green Country school has the best chance of winning a state championship this year? Is it Jenks, Booker T. Washington, Cascia Hall, Bishop Kelly, Union, or Broken Arrow? This is the DiscoverTulsa.com Tedford Insurance Question of the Week. Tell us what you think. Go to the sports section of DiscoverTulsa.com to vote.
Some pretty good football teams there this year.
Don't know that I can choose one. Can I choose more than one?
Try to pick one. Maybe for each class you would have a better chance.
Penalty on the play pushes Holland Hall back. 10 yards. It's going to be 2nd down and 20 now. Nathan Crosby is the quarterback. On that opening touchdown drive, he was 4 of 8 for 39 yards. He hands off here. Penalty marker out as they try to turn the corner. Reader never does quite get around and tackled at the 48-yard line. Now the referees will sort it out. 4 minutes and 9 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Been all Holland Hall so far. They drove down the field on the opening kickoff and scored. Then forced a safety, make it 9-0. And after the safety, of course, they get the ball back, and that's where we are.
You know, at this point, they would have had the ball much of the first quarter. Minute-wise, it would really be about 3-1.
On the offense, replay the down.
Well, this is known officially as first in a country mile. Ball's at the 31. They got to get to the Cascia Hall 36. That's 33 yards. And they hand it off. Some decent running room for Justin Butler, who's up close to the 40-yard line. A bunch of Cascia Hall players in there on the tackle, including Spoggy. Go ahead.
Justin, only a junior. He's 5'9", 195 pounds, and he runs an awful lot like Nick Bunning in there. They both run hard. They're both built low to the ground. So that's a good running game. That's a double-barrel offense for you on the ground.
2nd down and 24 now. 3:25 to play, first quarter. Crosby airing it out. Incomplete, intended for Gibson. Well, that was a pretty pass. 1 yard too short, or 1 yard too long.
You just have to be impressed with the way Crosby has handled himself at quarterback and running the offensive tag Gross from Holland Hall. And you're right. He throws what I call, Mick, a catchable ball. He's got good firmness on it. He's got good velocity on it, but yet it's catchable.
And that offensive line forms a wonderful protective shield where he is able to stand in there and concentrate on the receiver instead of trying to dodge white jerseys. 3rd down and 24. Yep, spoke too soon. Crosby's in trouble, and he's going down way back at the 30-yard line. Big play by number 69, Tyler Garrett. That's a sack that they'll be showing the grandkids someday when they bring them over. Let's take a look. He came right up the middle, JB.
He really did. He got right by the first wave, and he comes right on in. He's got the good enough speed that he's able to get to the quarterback. Tyler Garrett will have some fun in the film room tomorrow when they look at that film.
Forces a punting situation. Hart and Pritchard drop back to return it. Taylor, well, let's see, that's Harkreader back to kick it away. Low snap, but he gets it off. This is Pritchard at the 35. Look out, he dropped the ball. A couple of red jerseys appear to have it. Players on both teams are pointing in different directions. And you see it. We'll take a break. Cascia Hall will have the football when we return. It's your Ford of Tulsa game of the week, and Holland Hall has a 9-0 lead in the first quarter.
You're watching Cox Communications Channel 3, Oklahoma City, Channel 9, Tulsa. Local, like no one else.
Guess who's throwing a very special birthday party and inviting you? It's Blue's Birthday Party, a brand new live show.
It's really fun. I was dancing myself.
Critics say it's a goodie bag of musical fun.
Happy birthday, Blue!
So bring the whole family, because it's not just a show, it's the best birthday party ever. Blue's Birthday Party, presented by Ford.
September 6th through the 8th at Tulsa Performing Arts Center. Tickets are on sale now. Call 596-7111.
Rice, only a good energy food for the active athlete. No, it's also the best initial treatment for sprained joints. Are we advocating putting rice on a sprained ankle? Not exactly. You see, rice is a memory word for rest, ice, compression, and elevation, the best beginning treatment for injured joints. Apply compression carefully. Remember, a wrinkled or too tight ace wrap can act like a tourniquet. Then elevate and rest the extremity and pack it in ice. When in doubt with any extremity injury, remember, Ice is nice.
We're back at Father Hamill Field in Tulsa, where Holland Hall leads Cascia Hall 9-0. Cascia Hall with some excellent field position. They'll start this drive at the Holland Hall 49. And Schwab hands off to the second man through. That's Salasic. No, that's Spoggy getting up off the bottom of the pile. And the ball's been advanced up to the 47-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
You know, on that punt return by Rob Pritchard, it looked like he made some great cuts, but got the ball stripped. And I believe that was Chris Boone that fell on it, but quite a change of events here on the pendulum. It looks like Holland Hall, they originally, as a result of the safety, had great field position, and then they turned it over. Now Cascia has the great field position.
2nd down and 8. Salasic. Excellent tackle by Janacek in the backfield. He fell forward and got up to the 47. Salasic sets up a 3rd down and 7.
Get a look at Jack Schwab, the junior quarterback, 6 foot, 150 pound. It was quite a battle. There were 4 kids really fighting it out for the position, and it really wasn't a quarterback controversy. Just 4 kids trying to be the starting quarterback, and as a result, all 4 of them improved in their ability.
3rd down and 7. There's Schwab sprinting out, throwing on the run, incomplete. Well, the Cascia Hall Athletic Department would like to thank each of the following sponsors who helped launch the first annual Cascia Hall Athletic Department golf tournament this past summer. The golf tournament was a huge success with over 100 golfers participating in the event, including J.V. Haney. The funds raised by our general sponsors will be used to enhance the entire athletic program at Cascia Hall. We'll recognize more of these sponsors later in the game. Thank you for supporting the Commandos. An apparent punting situation here for Cascia Hall at the 47, and they're going to fake it. Hart's got the 1st down and a lot more. All the way down to the 15-yard line. Taylor Hart, number 2.
And that really puts some energy now in the Commandos. Taylor Hart looking up and seeing that right side wide open, and he's got the speed to get around the corner, and really no one had a very good shot at him. He gets by on that 1st down there. It looked like for a while that maybe Clifford Bennett could catch him, but he couldn't do it and was finally chased down in there by Michael Wright. But that's a big break for the Commandos.
Biggest play of the ball game. Cascia Hall down to the 15-yard line. Hand off to Salasic. Up to the 11-yard line.
Gavin Sedlacek is really he's a workhorse. He plays both offense and defense, and doesn't miss too many minutes of a football game.
Gain of about 4, 2nd down and 6. Final seconds of the 1st quarter. They're going to have to hurry to get this one off. They do get it off. And this is Hart. Stood up near the line of scrimmage. May have gained a yard as time expires in the 1st quarter to play. So they'll switch sides and make the long walk to the north end of the field. So far, so good for Holland Hall. The Dutchmen have a 9-0 lead on your Ford of Tulsa Game of the Week.
You're watching Cox Communications Channel 3, Oklahoma City, Channel 9, Tulsa. Local, like no one else.
The 2002 Home Remodeling Expo, September 6th, 7th, and 8th at the Tulsa Marriott Southern Hills. If you're considering updating your home, this show is designed especially for you. Discover the latest in home remodeling techniques along with a variety of stylish and functional products. From the latest in electronic technology to classic design and elegance, see it all at the 2002 Home Remodeling Expo, September 6th, 7th, and 8th at the Tulsa Marriott Southern Hills. Brought to you by the Home Builders Association of Greater Tulsa. Your home, our profession.
You're scared.
You need new customers.
Replacements.
Your crap makes people go away.
Forever.
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 Permanent.
That's your plan.
Tobacco man.
Thinking we're easy prey. To use and destroy.
To use and destroy.
but you leave a trail in your wake.
It's hard to miss body bags.
Well, smoke this.
We have a plan too.
How far can you see today? WeatherScan Local lets you see as far as the day is long. You make plans, we'll make the forecast. For rush hour to tea time to everything in between. New, all local, and only on Cox Digital Cable. WeatherScan Local by the Weather Channel. The perfect way to look ahead, even when you're going just around the corner.
We now return to the Ford of Tulsa Game of the Week, exclusively on Cox Channel 9.
You're talking about a big play call. Coach Joe Medina coming with the fake punt for Cascia Hall. Cascia Hall is now in Holland Hall's red zone. They're threatening to score. It could be a key and could determine later on in this game. Back to you guys.
Thompson, thank you. 3rd down and 10 coming up from the 15-yard line.
You know, they were thanking some of the sponsors for the Cascia Hall golf tournament a few minutes ago, and what a great time we had out there. I played with one of the mothers of the Lady Commandos here, Lisa Emery, and I tell you, along with Joe Medina, he played with us, and Joe Estep, we were shooting wedges to the par 4s and putting for eagles on the par 5, thanks to Lisa Emery.
It's been a fun day. 3rd and 10, Crosby looking deep. Pritchard goes up. What a catch! Touchdown! Jack Swab looking for Rob Pritchard.
And that is just a great effort, individual effort there by Rob Pritchard. And able to go up, and you know, when you're 6'2" and you can jump wide and got great hands, you can make great plays.
Extra point goes through. It's 9-7. Cascia Hall has closed the gap. We'll be right back. It's your Ford of Tulsa Game of the Week.
You're watching Cox Communications Channel 3, Oklahoma City, Channel 9, Tulsa. Local, like no one else. This is the field. This is the stands. Open the gates and let in the fans. It's time for local high school football. And Cox Communications wants to see you at the game when the Sapulpa Chieftains take on the Owasso Rams. Thursday, September 12th at 7:30. The Cox 9 television crew will be there covering the game live. And we want to see you in the stands, yelling and screaming for your team. Sapulpa versus Owasso. Thursday, September 12th at Owasso High School. Kickoff, 7:30.
We've got a whole new attitude.
You're gonna love what you see.
That's bold, inside, and revealing. It's showtime. He has a new vision and a new commitment to connect you to the world of entertainment.
That's some good TV right there.
It's all happening now.
We now return to the Ford of Tulsa Game of the Week, exclusively on Cox Channel 9.
Seven-play, 49-yard drive. Key play, of course, was that fake punt. Hart ran 31 yards. 9-7.
You know, very alert play. Then I'm sure that's one that Coach Medina has cautioned his players to look for and take advantage of.
This is Tyler Page at the 9. Out to about the 28-yard line.
Zach Enlow and Thomas Freeman for Cascia Hall on the tackle, and that's about as poor field position that Holland Hall has had. So Cascia kind of building on a little momentum of that last touchdown.
First play of the second quarter, Swab hit Pritchard for a touchdown. It makes it 9-7 now. They've switched ends, and here comes Holland Hall. 3 wide receivers to the left side of the field. And Crosby hands off. Bunning inside. Also a penalty marker on the far side of the field at the line of scrimmage.
Illegal formation.
Illegal formation was the call, and they'll push him back 5 yards. Snap it again.
You know, again, and I keep saying this because I've been there, Mick, and have coached football with kids. And early in the season, if you got a bunch of sophomores and juniors in there, and both these clubs have a lot of sophomores and juniors, you just make some mistakes that only time can correct.
First down and 15. Bunning is the lone running back. This time, one wide receiver to the right, two to the left for the quarterback, Nathan Crosby. 5-step drop. Throwing an out route. Incomplete. May have been a miscommunication between Crosby and Clayton Gibson, the wide receiver on that side of the field. And it'll bring up second down and 15.
Well, you know, he had both Clayton Gibson and Zach Emmel both out here on the near side, and I think there was some miscommunication as to which one he was going to. It looked like for a moment there that Clayton Gibson might have just slowed down a little and thinking the ball was going over to Zach Emmel. But again, you've been pointing out, Mick, a lot of time. Crosby has time to pick out his receivers and go with them.
Well, it's a luxury to be able to send out four and still have time to find one of them. They spend a lot of time on pass protection, I'm guessing.
Well, you just got to give a lot of praise in there to Holland Hall, to Redden, to Hanson, to Harris, Dyer, Hurd, Ditweiler. That interior line's doing an excellent job.
Another penalty sets up first down and about 25. Draw play to Bunning. Nobody's fooled. Good tackle by Scott Marbury. Speaking of energy, you know, we spent a lot of time talking about the players, but there's a bunch of students out here when you count the cheerleaders and pom squads and band members, and they never get tired. Why is that?
That is the great quality of youth, isn't it? And isn't that such a waste of energy?
Second down and 23. Crosby sets up and throws. Beautifully executed play. Ball is caught by Harkreader. Well, I tell you, I really like his fundamentals. Crosby rolls out, but when he finally got to where he wanted, he planted those feet, transferred his weight beautifully, and hit Crosby right in stride.
Well, Harkreader has
hit Harkreader.
Yeah, he's impressed me. He's a senior. He's only 5'9", 150 pounds, but he really has great hands and goes up and catches the ball, not necessarily in balance, but he was able to bring it down. But you're really right in there about Crosby, the quarterback. He really is fundamentally sound.
He is. If you can roll out and then plant your feet, you don't have to throw on the run. This time he wants to go deep, but he's not going to get that opportunity. Oh, another big play for Cascia Hall. Rob Pritchard, who scored the touchdown, now comes up with a big sack, and that forces a punting situation.
And we always talk about field position, and once again, Cascia, should everything going right, should come out of this exchange of the football with good field position, with an opportunity to come back and get ahead for the first time in a ball game.
So after the sack, Pritchard drops back and wants to return the punt. Wobbly snap, handled cleanly. Punt is high, a little short. And it'll be down at the 34-yard line. So some excellent field position coming up for Cascia Hall. We're going to take a break. 10:09 to play in the first half. Holland Hall leads Cascia Hall 9-7. We'll be right back. It's your Fort of Tulsa Game of the Week.
You're watching Cox Communications Channel 3, Oklahoma City, Channel 9, Tulsa. Local, like no one else.
Bye. Buying a used vehicle has never looked so good, especially with selection and pricing at Ford of Tulsa. Over 1,300 used cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. 50 below $5,000, 100 below $10,000, all ready to go, and financing as low as 4.9%. So many makes, so many models. All you have to do is decide which color. Selection, price, and quality. If you want the best, it's Ford of Tulsa.
The average person changes jobs 8 to 10 times in a lifetime. The average person buys a new or used car every 5 years. The average person buys a home maybe 3 or 4 times in their life. Want to be average? We didn't think so. DiscoverTulsa.com, not your average website. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it here. Jobs, weather, local events, stocks, movie listings, DiscoverTulsa.com. One click, you're home.
I hope you're logging on to our DiscoverTulsa.com question of the week. Which Green Country school has the best chance of winning a state championship? Jenks, Booker T, Cascia Hall, Bishop Kelly, Union, Broken Arrow. 6 schools to choose from. Tough for me to choose. I'm sure the fans out there have got their own ideas.
Well, I'm sure that the fans for each of those schools feel like their team's going to do it, but that's why you play them, to find out.
Holland Hall starts the drive, or rather Cascia Hall starts the drive at the Holland Hall 35. Swab is evading red jerseys quite niftily, and he gets all the way up to the 32-yard line, gain of 3. Is niftily a word before I use it again?
Well, I knew what you meant.
Okay.
That's and I think our audience knew exactly. And that's not a bad description, maybe.
Well, we'll go to make that a .com question of the week, maybe. 2nd down and 7 coming up.
Jack Swab showing you a little courage on that one, and a lot of confidence in his ability to sidestep and move the ball. Picked up, what, about 4 yards, and it looked like he was going to maybe lose 6.
Hart and Spoggy are the running backs, and this is Hart. He gets around the corner and is finally tripped up. Boy, if Harkreader hadn't been able to get him, he may have run for another 10 or 15 yards. They'll spot the ball at the 26, and it'll bring up 3rd down and about 2.
And that's a nice run in there by Taylor Hart. He was one of the candidates for the quarterback position during the preseason, and certainly is an outstanding athlete, as he showed you right there, 6'2" and 170 pounds.
There's Joe Medina, the Cascia Hall head coach.
Now, is that a game face? He's got the game face. I know the young man very well, and he has his game face on tonight.
Spoggy needs 2 yards, is not going to get it. Great defensive stand there by Holland Hall. And now it's 4th down and 3.
And again, that interior line of Hanson, Bennett, Ditweiler, Janasek, Stewart, Harris, doing a great job in that defensive line for the Dutchman.
Well, you hate for 3rd and 1 to turn into 4th and 3 in 4-down territory. And they're going to call timeout and think about it. Big play right here.
Well, Coach Joe Medina has a lot of tricks up his sleeve and covers a lot of things. One of the most organized coaches I've ever been around.
All right, JV, here's our which Green Country school has the best chance of winning a state championship this year? And there you see some percentages. Jenks 57%, Bishop Kelly 3%, Booker T. Washington 10%, Union 23%, and Cascia Hall 7%. So I don't know. I guess if you win 6 in a row, that's a fairly safe bet.
Well, I tell you, you almost always have to go with the favorite. But when you look at what Booker T. Washington is capable of doing in 5A, what Bishop Kelly is capable of doing, what Cascia is capable, and Union, hey, you people out there, get back on that computer and send in there, and let's find out if this is accurate or not.
I got to think the Union fans are going to start moving that percentage up. It's not too late to get on and vote. DiscoverTulsa.com. It's our question of the week. Get on there, join us. We'll be checking back in with that throughout the game.
Some good football teams there. Very good football teams.
Cascia Hall called a timeout. They want to talk things over. They got a 4th down and 3 situation. They've got a plan.
I've had the privilege there with Coach Joe Medina, Mick, of doing his television show weekly. And It's on Cox Communication Channel 20 with Tulsa Public Schools. And gosh, he's just a great organizer. There's no T's or I's that's not crossed or dotted.
Well, here's quarterback Jack Schwab. Hart and Spoggy are his running backs. He wants to throw. In trouble. Lofts it out. Spoggy. He's got the first down. Across the 20. Bangs his way up to the 18-yard line. Great call. Came right out of the timeout with a nifty call, JV.
That was a very good call. He got it out to Soggy out in the open and really was able to pick up the first down. That's kind of a gutty call and one that really gives a lot of interest, momentum to your offense. Jack Schwab throwing it just nice, soft out there. Aaron Spongy, he's a good one.
1st and 10 out the 18, midway through the second quarter. Cascia Hall had the ball. They trail by 2 points. Ball batted down at the line of scrimmage. I think that was Clifford Bennett that batted it down, number 38. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
That's who it looked like, and really coming in. Well, all of the line was coming in with their hands up and was able to bat it down. Of course, when you take a look at Jack Schwab, he's 6 foot. That's not the tallest quarterback, but that's tall enough normally that they don't bat it down.
You're watching your Ford of Tulsa Game of the Week from Father Hamill Field in Tulsa. Holland Hall on defense now leads Cascia Hall 9-7. Pitching it wide, and they're going to throw it. Hart throws it downfield, and it's caught, and it's a touchdown. Manuel Calvin. And it's 13-9. Cascia Hall has taken the lead for the first time. Extra point attempt is blocked, so it remains 13-9. Let's go down to Rod Thompson.
You talk about big plays right there, play calling right there by Joe Medina, coming with the halfback pass to be able to score. These two teams are really executing well in the red zone. You got a 13-9 score. It's going to get interesting. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Rod. Take a look here, JV. It's we're going to run the ball. Oh, no, we're not. We're going to throw the ball.
You know, that was a little halfback pass in there to Taylor Hart, and that's a great catch in there by Manuel Calvin. But again, Taylor Hart, one of the quarterback candidates early, so he can throw the ball, and he throws it nicely on the run, just lobs it right up on the defense. And my gosh, if you can jump it, just like rebounding, go get the basket, go get the football and play like it's a basketball. Bobby Laird did a pretty good job on defense that time. Well, no, it was Zach Himmel, but he just couldn't get it.
Next Thursday night, join us here for the Ford of Tulsa Game of the Week, Sapulpa versus Owasso, 7:30 right here on this same station, Channel 3 in Oklahoma City, Channel 9 in Tulsa. Nice high kick. This is Tyler Page. He's across the 30 up to the 32-yard line.
This is a big series, I think, for Holland Hall, Mick, because of the way they jumped out and was dominant there in the first period, and then coming back and allow Cascia Hall to take the lead at 13-9. And this is a big possession in my mind from a coaching standpoint that you really want to establish something. If you allow the defense to get the upper hand here, I'm sure as we look across the way at Tag Gross that he's probably thinking the same thing, that we need to score, we need to move the football on this possession.
Cascia Hall wants a timeout, and they get it. I don't think they had the proper personnel on the field. Well, they only had 10. That was the problem. You don't want to give up that man advantage. That's worth a timeout if you've only got 10 out there.
Absolutely. You don't want to try to take on 11 with 10 because I'm sure as good a quarterback as Crosby was that there had been some kind of a audible at the line and they would have paid the price for it.
We'll be showing this game again tonight, following tonight's game. Just stay tuned. Channel 3 in Oklahoma City, Channel 9 in Tulsa, Cascia Hall and Holland Hall. Well, the Cascia Hall Athletic Department says thank you to each of the following sponsors who helped launch the first annual Cascia Hall Athletic Department golf tournament this past summer. The golf tournament was a huge success with over 100 golfers participating in the event. The funds raised by our general sponsors will be used to enhance the entire athletic program at Cascia Hall. We'll recognize more of these sponsors in the upcoming quarter, but thank you for supporting the Commandos. First down and 10. Hit right at the line of scrimmage.
Looked like that was Nate Nebergall in there for the Commandos on the line that was really plugging the holes.
Loss of 2 to bring up second down and 12. Crosby has 2 wide receivers to the left, I formation. First, he's got to get out of the arms of a Cascia Hall defender, and he can't do it. Stu Price throws him down for a big sack. Crosby had a receiver, but he didn't have time to look downfield because Price was all over him. Take a look. Stu Price, number 47.
And he comes from the outside linebacker position, and he's under control all the way as he comes in and just wraps him up and takes him down. But you got to admire Crosby. Don't throw the ball away. Don't cough it up. Take the loss.
Third down and 21 now. Well, the first quarter was all Holland Hall. They led 9-0. Now they've given up 13 straight points and are facing third and a bunch. And I think this one is going to be a fumble. Crosby blindsided. Ball came loose and recovered by the white jerseys. And look at Stu Price coming off the field all fired up.
Well, that was 2 sacks in a row that he was accountable for. In the second one there, he jarred the football loose, but he came into that outside linebacker position, and you see the ball go flying.
Price applied the lick.
A great defensive play, and it looks like there that Tyler Garrett was the one who recovered it. He's right on top of the ball. The 6', 210-pound junior defensive lineman. Great break for the Commandos.
So Cascia Hall will start this drive at the 19-yard line. 6:06 to play, second quarter. They've got the lead, 13-9. Swab wanting to throw. Does, but under duress, and it falls harmlessly incomplete.
Get a look at Clifford Bennett there. Defensive lineman for the Holland Hall Dutchman, really coming through there and putting the sack on Crosby.
Clifford goes 210. He's a load. Halfway through the second quarter now. 6 minutes to play. Second down and 10. Running backs are Solacik and Taylor Hart. Solacik with a really nice run up close to a first down. Across the 10 up to the 9. JV, take another look at it.
You know, Sedlacik there, he went out, was kind of limping a few minutes ago and was limping going out this time, but he gets around the right side and cuts on upfield and takes a pretty good lick in there from Nick Bunning, but nevertheless enough to pick up the first and down. It looks close from here, Mick.
Yep. Looks like Taylor Hart's down on the field, may have a cramp. Meanwhile, the officials are spreading out the chains to see if he got the first down. And he did. So it'll be first and goal at the 9.
Well, I think we can expect a lot of players here in the first few ball games of the season to cramp up, regardless of what their conditioning has been. Why, you get a little dehydrated, and it's rather warm tonight and rather humid, why you can expect some of those cramps. Coach Medina there giving instructions, talking to the coaches up in the booth, and still has his game face on.
Well, as warm as it is this evening, it's nothing compared to 2 years ago. I don't know if you remember the opening weekend then, but we had temperatures at least 10 degrees warmer than this.
Yes, I do remember those.
Almost unbearable.
In a booth, why you couldn't put your papers, the perspiration would come off your arms and dripping. Ink would run together. Yes, I remember those.
Next Thursday night, Sapulpa versus Owasso on your Ford of Tulsa game of the week.
Two up-and-coming 6A schools here. The football, Sapulpa really coming around. Owasso, great passing attack, great quarterback. That'll be a great game.
First and goal at the 9. Salacic trying to get to the 5, and I think he did, so it'll be second and goal from there. Right into the heart of those red jerseys.
Gavin Sedlacek, he's only 180-pounder. He's a junior. He's 6 foot tall, but he is a competitor.
Hansen among those making the stop. Game clock moving. Just over 5 minutes to play now in the first half. Cascia Hall with the lead and the ball. Second and goal at the 5. Salacic over the left side. He's close to the goal line, but he's not quite there. And it'll bring up third down and a key play in this drive.
But it looked like he went right over the left guard there and got some great blocking up front.
Third and goal from the 1. Cascia Hall hoping for its third touchdown of the second quarter. Scored on pass plays, Pritchard and Calvin, the receivers. Now let's see what they do here. Salacic, he's into the end zone for the touchdown. What a second quarter for the Commandos.
They got a wake-up call early, didn't they?
Take advantage of the turnover, punch it in from the 19-yard line. And now an extra point attempt. It's on the way and it's through. Cascia Hall has responded. They lead Holland Hall 20-9. It's your Ford of Tulsa game of the week.
You're watching Cox Communications Channel 3, Oklahoma City, Channel 9, Tulsa. Local, like no one else.
Here in Oklahoma, there's a few things we're sure of, that there's no better way to spend a lazy afternoon than with great company in a great Ford truck from Ford of Tulsa. People drive from all over Oklahoma and as far away as Arkansas and even Texas to take advantage of prices that only Ford of Tulsa can offer. Not to mention the largest selection around. The best place to get your truck is in your own backyard.
Nancy Lopez, Annika Sorenstam, 2001 Williams champion Gloria Park. They'll all be right here in Tulsa for the Williams Championship, September 2nd through the 8th. So join the best golfers in the world at Tulsa Country Club. Call for tickets toll-free at 877-583-9925 or stop by select Quick Trip locations, even order online. But don't miss your shot to see the best. Order now.
20-9, Cascia Hall. Salacic going over from the 1-yard line, and here it is, JV.
Well, he goes right back over that left guard and left tackle and just able to break the tackle in there that was attempted by Andrew Armstrong and break over the goal line. Great running in there by Gavin Salacic.
Tell you, Holland Hall scored on its opening drive, but hasn't picked up a first down since. It's 20-9 with 4:19 to play in the first half.
Well, the great rivalry that's existed between these two schools, and Cascia Hall was definitely, by most of the people who follow high school football, was favored in this game, but you never look at it from what other people think. It's all done on the field. And I think that opening quarter that was dominated by the Dutchman really got the attention of Cascia Hall.
Mick Cornett, J.V. Haney, and Rod Thompson at Father Hamill Field in Tulsa. 20-9 our score. Cascia Hall leading Holland Hall. We await the kickoff. And it's a deep one. This is Page. Oh! Nice to meet you, Matt Butts.
185-pound senior, and yes, he really put the stop on number 82 there for Holland Hall.
Wow.
Tyler Page.
Well, I heard the saying no buts about it. There was a lot of buts about that one.
Yes.
Gee whiz.
That is coming to an abrupt stop.
1st and 10 now at the 28-yard line. Here comes Nathan Crosby and the Dutchman. Give it to Bunning. He's got some running room. 30, 35, first down and out of bounds near the 40. Nick Bunning. And JV, you said before the game he was a guy to watch for, and you see some of the skills and talent right there.
Well, he is certainly an outstanding running back, and that time Manuel Galvin just had to grab him by the shoulder pad and jerk him out of bounds, but you can see he's got great moves. He fakes inside and then takes that little step outside. And, you know, good backs are able to do that. They go up into the hole, they suck the defense in, and they pop out and pick up more yardage.
1st and 10 from the 40. Blitz. Oh, Crosby gets the pitch off. But Bunning's got some room. He made something out of nothing all the way up to the 45-yard line. Crosby hung in there, made the pitch knowing he was about to get level.
And again, that was Manuel Calvin doing the defensive work in there, and he is doing an outstanding job from his defensive back position, really doing an excellent job of reading and reacting.
Gain of 5, 2nd down 5, 3.5 minutes to play in the first half. Holland Hall down by 11. They've got the ball near midfield. 3-step drop, throwing a slant, tall, and it's intercepted. Bobby Laird brought it down, and he brings it back near midfield.
Well, the Cascia Hall defense is really making the difference since the latter part of the first period. And once again, forcing a turnover, always the key to a football game. And here we get a good look, and maybe the only mistake that has been made in there by the quarterback, Crosby.
That one just sailed on him.
It really did. Could have been some miscommunications on the pass routes as well. A lot of things can happen that breaks down a play, but very alert defensive play by Bobby Laird.
So it's already been a 3-touchdown quarter for Cascia Hall. They're at midfield with 3 minutes to play in the second quarter. Handoff to Solacek over the left side. He may have gotten a yard. 2nd down and 9 coming up.
Again, you know, both the lines have been doing a good job offensively and defensively for both sides here after they kind of get out of that midway in the first period.
Good look at Tag Gross.
On Coach Medina's TV show this last week, one of his guests was Coach Tag Gross out of Holland Hall. And that's kind of unusual, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say so. Wanting to throw, steps up in the pocket. Beautiful pass downfield. Pritchard wasn't quite there. Incomplete, stops the clock with 2:32 to play in the second quarter and sets up a 3rd down and long.
Tag Gross was an assistant coach at Jinx with some of those state championship teams before he moved over as a head coach at Holland Hall, replacing Charlie Brown, who coached at Holland Hall for, well, he was coaching there in 1966. So many, many years, and was recently inducted into the Oklahoma Coaches Hall of Fame.
Congratulations to him. 3rd down and 10. Solachik across the 50 and up to the 45. That sets up a 4th down and 5 play. Clock rolling now. It'll be under 2 minutes when they snap it again.
And you notice on that handoff how Gavin Solachik got a hand on each end of the football. He was not taking any chance of just cuddling it under one arm. He had both hands on it. Now that's a vicious looking mascot. It's a little hot down there for him too.
I think he needs a drink.
Yes, he does.
All right, one bulldog trusts the other bulldog there.
You can have fun at high school football games.
Speaking of which.
And speaking of which, there are some young men, some students from Holland Hall. That kind of shows you a little bit of the feeling of the rivalry. But it's all good, clean fun between these two schools.
Well, call now to get HBO on Cox Digital Cable. Special offers are available, and don't forget the 4th season of the award-winning HBO original series Sopranos begins on Sunday, September 15th. To get 9 screens of HBO on Cox Digital Cable in Tulsa, call the number on your screen, 665-0200. And in Oklahoma City, call 600-8282 for installation.
There we get a look at the dogs.
That looks like a lot of fun. Minute 53 to play in the second quarter. Cascia Hall's fans have plenty to cheer about.
And you know, the beauty part of our job, Mick, in going around with these high school games is to see the enthusiasm that the student body and the fans have when Cox Communication shows up. They love us.
Yes, well, it's a wonderful public service that Cox performs throughout the state, and I don't know that Oklahomans truly appreciate it, because this is highly unusual. If you look at high school football hotbeds around the country, you don't see commitments like this to high school football.
And you can only get it on Cox Communication.
High snap, corralled and punted away. And down at the 22-yard line. Minute 46 now, and Holland Hall come on the field and see if they can get some more points before the first half ends.
Zach Enlow, the freshman, got down the field and down that ball. And, you know, anytime a freshman gets into a game for one play or 2 plays or 1 series, 2 series, that really helps him. And both these coaches will try to get young players in there as often as possible.
Well, be sure to catch Inside Tulsa Football here on Cox Communications. Join Bruce Howard and Hurricane head coach Keith Burns for all the highlights of Golden Hurricane football, Monday nights at 7 in Tulsa and Thursday evenings at 6 in Oklahoma City. You can only get Inside Tulsa Football on Cox Communications. Local like no one else. Run into the line of scrimmage. Not much there. Trying to keep them honest, though. 2nd down and 10.
And, of course, with the passing ability of Crosby, you've got to be watching right now. If you kind of get caught on your heels, he could burn you right in the closing moment of a half.
I formation behind Crosby. Second man through the gap. Janacek was blocking. And running the football was Jake Nolte. Less than a minute to play now in the second quarter. Third down and 6. Here comes the blitz. Handoff. Successfully defended. Stu Price came up and made the stop. Stu Price has had a splendid first half. They will not have to snap it again, but let's see if either team wants to call a timeout here and force another play. Doesn't look like it.
Now, I would think at this point that both teams and both coaching staffs would like to get their players in the locker room and make the adjustments they feel is necessary for the second half.
And that's the way it's going to be. Well, a brilliant second quarter by Cascia Hall. They ripped off 3 touchdowns. Pritchard, Calvin, Solachik. And they've come from behind and taken the lead 20-9 in one of the big rivalries in the state of Oklahoma. Let's go down to Rod Thompson.
I'm here now with Coach Medina. Your team really stepped up big, exploded in the second quarter with scoring, and knowing that you lost 2 of your best skill players from last year's team, how are you feeling about your team's production so far?
I'm proud of them. They showed a lot of character and heart coming back after being down 9-0. Still a lot of football left to be played, and they've got a lot of weapons over there that they can use.
We also noticed some of the trick plays that you had, the 4th down call, and also the halfback pass that really came up big and got your team going.
Yeah, we rolled the dice a little bit and came up big. I had to go to Vegas.
Great play calling, Coach. Back to you guys.
All right, Rob, thank you. 20-9, Cascia Hall leading Holland Hall. Let's take a look at some of the highlights of the first half. And we'll start back in the first quarter. And there's Coach Medina. Defense, Stu Price with the big quarterback sack on Nathan Crosby. See Coach Gross of Holland Hall. There's Crosby again, throwing a pass, and it's intercepted. This was Bobby Laird picking it off and bringing it back in the second quarter. 20-9, Cascia Hall leads Holland Hall, and we'll be back. It's your Fort of Tulsa Game of the Week.
You're watching Cox Communications Channel 3, Oklahoma City, Channel 9, Tulsa. Local, like no one else.
At Fort of Tulsa, we declare it's good to be king, and we promise to rise up to any challenge. The new Ford Explorer versus Chevy Trailblazer. Explorer costs less, it's roomier, has more safety features, and gets better gas mileage. The new Ford Expedition versus Chevy Tahoe. Expedition costs thousands less, has more torque, seating, and towing capacity, and better gas mileage. Ford of Tulsa, home of America's #1 selling trucks. No comparison. Like a rock, sinks every time.
If you or someone you know gets cable service without paying, you could be fined up to $1,000 and or spend up to 6 months in jail. Cox Communications wants to protect our paying customers. That's why we're cracking down on cable theft. Each year, Cox pays the city millions of dollars in franchise fees. If you're stealing cable, you're actually stealing from community funding, like police and fire departments and city parks. To make yourself legal, no questions asked, or to report cable theft, call Cox Communications at 669-4700 today.
Nothing on earth adds elegance and style to your home like granite, and it's more affordable than you think. At Surfaces on South Memorial, we'll help you plan and design natural stone creations for your home or business. Choose from stone from over 30 countries, and then our state-of-the-art fabrication shop will custom cut, finish, and install your kitchen countertop, fireplace, bathroom, or tabletop. Visit our showroom for samples and ideas on how you can add style and elegance to your home or office. Nothing's more durable, longer lasting, easier to care for, and yet affordable than granite, and nobody beats the price and customer service at Surfaces. 14602 South Memorial.
You're scared.
You need new customers.
Replacements.
Your crap makes people go away. Forever.
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 Permanent.
That's your plan.
Tobacco man.
Thinking we're easy prey. To use and destroy.
To use and destroy.
But you leave a trail in your wake.
It's hard to miss body bags. Well, smoke this.
We have a plan too.
Think you've seen it all? Watch this. Unbelievable Wednesday nights on TBS Superstation. All new Ripley's Believe It or Not. And this summer, Worst Case Scenario, the best-selling survival handbook comes to life. Ripley's Believe It or Not at 7 and Worst Case Scenario at 8. Unbelievable Wednesdays, 7 Central, only on TBS Superstation.
We now return to the Fort of Tulsa Game of the Week, exclusively on Cox Channel 9.
So hot, so hot.
Some like it hot and some sweat when the heat is on. Some feel the heat and decide that they can't go on. Some like it hot, some like it hot.
Hall Palm Squad. We'll be back and visit with the headmasters from both schools.
You're watching Cox Communications Channel 3, Oklahoma City, Channel 9, Tulsa. Local, like no one else.
Buying a used vehicle has never looked so good, especially with the selection and pricing at Port of Tulsa. Over 1,300 used cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. 50 below $5,000, 100 below $10,000, all ready to go, and financing as low as 4.9%. So many makes, so many models. All you have to do is decide which color. Selection, price, and quality. If you want the best, it's Port of Tulsa.
After his parents died, no one was left to help him make day-to-day decisions. He's one of many Oklahomans with developmental disabilities needing someone in their lives to help them with personal, legal, and medical decisions. Volunteer guardians and advocates can make a difference in the lives of these individuals, often aging and alone. If not you, who? Call TARC now.
You're scared.
You need new customers.
Replacements.
Your crap makes people go away. Forever.
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 Permanent.
That's your plan.
Tobacco man.
Thinking we're easy prey? To use and destroy.
To use and destroy.
But you leave a trail in your wake.
It's hard to miss body bags. Well, smoke this. We have a plan too.
Sundays, E uncovers the secrets of your favorite stars and shows.
My favorite show is E! True Hollywood Story.
It's the Emmy Award-winning series that's become a phenomenon. E! True Hollywood Story.
I like them a lot.
It's the story you haven't heard. Always new. Sundays at 8, only on E!
We now return to the Ford of Tulsa Game of the Week, exclusively on Cox Channel 9.
Cascia Hall, Father Bernie again, and this game is exciting. This rivalry is exciting. How do you feel about this rivalry?
Well, it's a great way to start the season with the game against Holland Hall. Certainly a close game and a tentative beginning for Cascia, but it's a great excitement. We had a pep rally today. The kids have a special T-shirt for this rivalry, and it just gets the season off on a great start.
Like you said, it's really good for not only the team but for the school. And what's some exciting things that's going on here at Cascia Hall right now?
Well, Cascia Hall is off to a good start this year. We have capacity enrollment. We have great students and parents. We have. We just found out that there are going to be 21 students commended or higher by national merit out of a class of 88, so we're very proud of our academics. As you can see tonight, the cheerleaders, the Poms, the volleyball teams, hopefully on their way to another state championship. There's just a lot of great things going on at Cascia, and I'm proud of all the students and my faculty and staff.
I bet you are. They're really doing a good job here. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm joined here now by the headmaster of Holland Hall, Bob Graves, and hey, exciting, this rivalry. What does it mean to you?
Well, it means a lot to me, and it means a lot to the school, but I'm glad that Father Bernie and I could get this rivalry back together 4 years ago, because it means a lot to the kids, and they enjoy it quite a bit.
Now, unlike Tulsa Public Schools, you opened this week. I understand that Holland Hall opened on August the 20th. How are the thoughts about your first 3 weeks of school?
Oh, it's been a great 3 weeks. The kids' spirit, school spirit is up. We have a number of seniors who've taken over, improving the school spirit. We've got record enrollment, like Father Bernie said as well, and it's been a great start for the year.
Congratulations on a great team and a great rivalry, and I know you like being a part of it.
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Thank you. Back to you guys.
You're watching Cox Communications Channel 3, Oklahoma City, Channel 9, Tulsa. Local, like no one else.
Here in Oklahoma, there's a few things we're sure of, that there's no better way to spend a lazy afternoon than with great company in a great Ford truck from Ford of Tulsa. People drive from all over Oklahoma and as far away as Arkansas and even Texas to take advantage of prices that only Ford of Tulsa can offer. Not to mention the largest selection around. The best place to get your truck is in your own backyard.
Rice, only a good energy food for the active athlete. No, it's also the best initial treatment for sprained joints. Are we advocating putting rice on a sprained ankle? Not exactly. You see, rice is a memory word for rest, ice, compression, and elevation, the best beginning treatment for injured joints. Apply compression carefully. Remember, a wrinkled or too tight ACE wrap can act like a tourniquet. Then elevate and rest the extremity and pack it in ice. When in doubt with any extremity injury, remember, ice is nice.
I'm Amber Valletta. As honorary chairperson of the Susan G. Komen Tulsa Race for the Cure, I am more than honored to invite you to this fun and important run Saturday, September 14th at the OSU Tulsa campus. The more people who run, the more money we'll raise for Tulsa area breast cancer education, screening, and treatment, as well as national research. So pick up an entry form available at all Quick Trip locations or visit the official Tulsa Race website.
At the Carpet Center, we are your decorating showplace, featuring many styles and designs from most major mills. We also have one of the largest selections of ceramic tile and natural stone in the Tulsa area. Visit our rug gallery for a great selection of Southwest, contemporary, or traditional area rugs. Window treatments from Hunter Douglas can add a finishing touch to any room in your home. For the ultimate decorating experience, shop the Carpet Center at 121st and South Memorial.
How far can you see today? WeatherScan Local lets you see as far as the day is long. You make plans, we'll make the forecast. For rush hour to tea time to everything in between. New, all local, and only on Cox Digital Cable. WeatherScan Local by the Weather Channel. The perfect way to look ahead, even when you're going just around the corner.
We now return to the Ford of Tulsa Game of the Week, exclusively on Cox Channel 9.
Opening Friday night of the 2002 high school football season, and the Cascia Hall Commandos have a 20-9 halftime lead over their arch rivals, the Holland Hall Dutchmen. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. First half was pretty much all Holland Hall. Take a look here as Nick Bunning turns the left side. Opening drive of the game. Really nice pickup. Then the touchdown, 9 yards to Jack Hartreader, and that made it 7-0, Holland Hall in front. And then the fake punt. Well, this was a beauty. Taylor Hart took off, and this really, JV, kind of turned the momentum around because Cascia Hall to this point hadn't had much success, but they punched it right in.
That was the key of the first half for the Commandos.
Pritchard make a splendid catch there for the touchdown, and that made it 9-7. Holland Hall still in front. And then the Cascia Hall defense takes over. And here's the halfback pass. Taylor Hart to Manuel Calvin. That made it 13-9 after the extra point failed. And watch this defense. Good grief. Stu Price had a big series, made a couple of big hits. And there's Salachik going over the left side, and that made it 20-9, and that's where we are.
Well, you can take a look at the stats there. Holland Hall, 37 yards rushing, 72 for Cascia. Quite a bit of passing going on, 50 for Holland, 34 for Cascia. Total yards, 87, 106. Looks like it's been more of a defensive play, but the 2 turnovers really a key there for Holland Hall in the first half.
Pretty balanced offense. Both teams have thrown a lot on first down and had some decent opportunities running the ball.
You know, just going back over it, you might think that there had been more offense than the 87 and 106 yards, but the defense has really played an important part in forcing the 2 turnovers, but 5 and 6 on first downs is rather even, and I think Coach Medina hit the nail on the head. There is, Mick, a lot of football left in this game.
Well, Cascia Hall won the opening toss, deferred, so they'll get their choice here to start the third quarter. I'll be surprised if they don't just take the football. They've been moving it really well. Had 3 second quarter touchdowns, Pritchard, Calvin, and Salachik.
Well, both these teams have the capability of exploding at any time for a touchdown, but both teams are playing very heads up and a very good defense as well.
It's a beautiful night for football. You might want just a tad of a breeze because it's a breezeless night in Oklahoma, and it's just a little bit steamy. But there'll be a November evening coming up that we'll have loved to have had this night. So I'm not trying to complain.
You're absolutely right. We'll look back and think, gosh, I wish we had just some of that August and September heat.
Hey, call now to get HBO on Cox Digital Cable. Special offers are available, and don't forget the 4th season of the award-winning HBO original series Sopranos begins on Sunday, September 15th. To get 9 screens of HBO on Cox Digital Cable in Tulsa, call 665-0200. If you're in Oklahoma City, call 660-8282 for installation. Here comes Holland Hall back onto the field. Their fans are on the field to welcome them back from the locker room. We have a halftime score. Game of interest. Union leading Broken Arrow 17-14 at the half.
That's a big game for both of those 6A schools, and that'll be played with a full house over at Broken Arrow's new stadium.
Let's go down to Rod Thompson.
I'm joined here now by Coach Gross of Holland Hall. You came out strong, came with a big 4th down, you scored, got the safety, and then the wheels kind of fell off for you. What do you have to do to get back into this game?
We got to quit making mistakes. We had a lot of penalties on offense. We jumped offside. We lined up wrong a few times. We had holding penalties. We can't kill ourselves by getting in 1st and long and 2nd and long. We got to come out and first drive was good, and we mixed it up. We're going to mix it up a little bit more in the second half on offense. And I thought we played a good job, did a good job on defense. They had to fake punt. That was a big play, and they made a couple nice pass plays. But if we're stopping the run, we're going to keep trying to stop the run. So.
Well, good luck this second half, Coach. Back to you guys.
All right, Rod Thompson, thank you. Mick Cornett, J.V. Haney up top. Rod keeping them honest down on the sidelines. 20-9. Cascia Hall comes from behind in the second half, or second quarter, with 3 touchdowns after Holland Hall had jumped out to a 9-0 lead.
I thought it was interesting that Rod Thompson talking to the 2 headmasters and Father Bernie Sienna of Cascia Hall. They were visiting about renewing the series back in 1995. Mick, they had a little controversy over a move-in quarterback at Holland Hall, and they discontinued for a couple of years, but the administrators got their heads together and got this rivalry back, and everyone is really happy for it.
Cascia Hall has the option here in the second half. They say they want the football, so we'll see Jack Swab and his crew take the field again pretty soon. Give them 3 minutes to warm up. And JV, this is something, 20, 30 years ago, they didn't give the young men much time to come out of the locker room and get loose again, but it certainly is a good thing.
Well, they have done so much in the field of sports medicine to really try to help the athlete. And if you've noticed tonight, the officials have not really rushed the ball back and put it in play. They're giving them a little more time, and that is really good in a heat situation like this. And yes, I remember when they blew the whistle, you went out there and played. But Mick, you can even remember this, when you didn't get water, and then they would give you salt tablets besides that.
I remember.
Things have changed, haven't they?
I remember. Things have definitely changed in that regard. There's a good look at Nathan Crosby. Completed 4 passes on that impressive opening drive, and the Dutchman went right down the field and scored the game's first touchdown. And he's got a bunch of good receivers. Harkreeder, Gibson, Emmel, Pagel, Wright, Detweiler.
And they rotate them. Coach Gross rotates them in and out, and able to utilize them in every capacity. And that's the mark of a good coach, when you utilize your talent.
And there is Tag Gross.
Football has come a long way. You see the coaches and you see the players with all the plays that they have on their arms. And gosh, I remember when we had 3 one way and 3 the other. Now that dates me, but that's not been too many years ago, Mick, that you didn't have this sophisticated offense.
Sounds like a single wing offense there.
Single wing and the double wing. Oh goodness! Get those spinners out of a single wing. Wonder what would happen today if someone would come out in that offense.
Well, it's time to check back in on our DiscoverTulsa.com question of the week. Which Green Country school has the best chance of winning a state championship this year? And I was correct. Union's votes are starting to pick up. Jenks still leading with 41%. Union has 33%. Booker T. Washington with 11%. Cascia with 6%. Bishop Kelly with 3%. Still time for you to get online and vote. DiscoverTulsa.com. Take part in our question of the week.
And you really need to do that if you're not happy with the percent that you see on your screen. Why, just get up and get to your computer and get your vote in on time.
We're ready to get the second half started. Big rivalry weekend. A lot of the schools around the state are playing their big rival, and that's the case here. Holland Hall and Cascia Hall have that friendly dislike for each other that makes sports so wonderful to watch. Zach Emmel will be kicking it off here to start the second half. It's a short kick taken at the 18-yard line. Like Enlow breaks the tackle and gets on up across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Zach Enlow, ninth grader.
Only a ninth grader. He's 5'10", 175. And if you noticed, the Zach was really holding onto that football. He has been talked to about that. There on the sideline, you got a quick glimpse of Jack Santee, a long-time Tulsa Cascia Hall football consultant, former OU great.
First and 10 at the 32, and a handoff up the middle just to keep them honest. Handoff going to Salachik. He scored the last touchdown to make it 20-9. That's where we are.
And, you know, when you go into halftime and trailing, you really want to come out. If you're on defense, you want to be able to stop them, force them into a punting situation, try to gain control of field position, and I'm sure that's what Pat Gross and his staff talked about.
Jack Swab, 6 foot, 170-pound junior quarterback. Hands off, the second man through. And that's Salachik, and he pushes the pile all the way up to the 39, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 3.
This is more of the type of game that we kind of expected, or at least, Mick, that I kind of expected. A little more ground game, but and I'm sure that Coach Medina, if he can pick up a first down here, that he'll do more on the ground and manage the clock a little and try to get things going his way and just force Holland Hall to do something drastic to get the momentum back in their favor.
3rd down and 3. Salachik, and he's not going to get there. Holland Hall coming up with the big 3rd down play, number 43. Zach Hawkins comes up and stops him for a loss, and it's 4th down and 6. Take a look here, forces the punting situation.
And this is something that the defensive coaches for the Dutchman really wanted to do, was to make a big stand here on the 3rd down, and Zach Hawkins leading the way certainly puts a hammer on Salachik and forces him into a punting situation.
And with a fake punt earlier in the game, ever so present on their minds, Holland Hall quickly calls a timeout there as they were a little confused by the way Cascia Hall lined up in its punt situation. They put a wide receiver off to the right, and I think Holland Hall wasn't especially prepared for that and thought, let's just call timeout and make sure that everybody's accounted for.
Well, everyone wants to be on the same page now because there's not too many overs when you get into the second half.
That's a good point. They don't have overs, do they?
No, there's no overs.
Well, the Cascia Hall Athletic Department would like to thank each of the following sponsors who helped launch the first annual Cascia Hall Athletic Department golf tournament this past summer. The golf tournament was a huge success with over 100 golfers participating in the event, including our own J.V. Haney. The funds raised by our general sponsors will be used to enhance the entire athletic program at Cascia Hall. We'll be recognizing these sponsors throughout the game. Thank you for supporting the Commandos. There's a punt, takes a Holland Hall bounce. And Holland Hall will start at the 40-yard line after a 23-yard punt.
Good hustle down the field by Scott Marbury to down that ball because it was getting a great Holland Hall bounce coming back up the field.
Taylor Hart needs some attention on the field. We may have another cramp.
Another one of those cramps. You can see him the trainers out there working on him, bending that toe back. And I think those of us who have been involved in athletics have experienced that, and it does get your attention.
Well, a guy that's a friend of both of ours, Dean Blevins, tells me he's had more injuries than any 10 people that we know. And he says a cramp is the most painful injury you can possibly have.
Well, it will put you on the ground and keep you there for a while. That is true.
Dean and I did sports together at Channel 5 in Oklahoma City for a few years, and Dean would get a cramp every once in a while just in the course of being a sportscaster.
Well, I tell you what,
it hurts.
I forced him when he was a senior in high school. I forced him into quite a cramp.
How was that?
I cut his hair.
Oh, man.
Yes, he was all-stater, of course, out of Norman, a great athlete, great person, love him to death. But he comes into camp, and back then, in the old days, you know, they were told how they were to come in and how they were to dress and how they'd have their hair cut. And Dean came in, and it wasn't acceptable by the Coaches Association. So
yeah, he never told me that story.
Well, now you need to get him on the air sometime and make him tell you, because we sent them out to get groomed. Well, he came back, and it still didn't pass the grooming test. So I took, as the president of the Oklahoma Coaches Association, Mick, I took a pair of tape scissors. Now, you know what the tape scissors look like. You know, they got that little spoonbill type spot on them. So I cut his hair.
Well, the Cascia Hall Athletic Department would like to thank each of the following sponsors who helped launch the first annual Cascia Hall Athletic Department golf tournament this past summer. The golf tournament was a huge success. Over 100 golfers participating in the event, including J.V. Haney. The funds raised by the general sponsors will be used to enhance the entire athletic department at Cascia Hall. Thanks to all of these people for supporting the Commandos.
Taylor Hart's coming off the field now, and I'm sure they'll work on that cramp and get that muscle relaxed, and we'll see him again in a little while.
Just over 10 minutes to play in the third quarter. 20-9 our score. Holland Hall trails by 11, but has pretty good field position here in their first possession of the third quarter. Nathan Crosby is the quarterback. Nick Bunning is the running back, and Bunning's got it. Dragging a linebacker up to the 45. Some good running. Nick Bunning is just plain strong. 6'1", 195 pounds. You can tackle him, and he's still liable to drag you 2 or 3 more yards.
Well, you know, at that time it looked like that Andrew Romine had really latched on to him, and he weighs 200 pounds at 6'2", and yet at the same time, Bunning was able to pick up an extra 3 yards.
Second down and 6. Crosby sends Emmel in motion and gives to Bunning, who finds another gap, 45, 46, 47-yard line. And another example there of an arm tackle unable to bring him down. 3rd and 3, let's call it 3rd and 2.
Looked like Scott Marbury, come out of his linebacking position, was able to just get a hold of the shirt and hang on until he could get some help. But you don't just take Bunning down one-on-one very often.
There's Marbury, number 78.
Plays in the offensive line on the offensive unit, linebacker on the defensive unit.
Here comes Bunning. They need 3 yards for a first down. And the ball came loose. Cascia Hall says they've got it. Let's wait for an official to confer. Still trying to unpile it on the far side of the field, and it is a turnover. Cascia Hall has picked up the ball at their own 48-yard line.
Looks like number 11 in there, Bobby Laird, again, maybe coming up with the recovery of the fumble, giving him 2 for the night. We'll get another look at it right here as we see Nick Bunning going around left side. And you see the ball coming out, just stripped. Real hard to tell which one of the Cascia players, but I believe it was Andrew Romine who came up with it.
I think Solachik forced the fumble.
One of the keys in the game, and we're seeing it fall in the favor of the Commandos.
Cascia Hall from the 49. Looked like the ball may have come loose again. Cascia Hall, though, says they've fallen on it. And they did.
Well, you know, it's just as important to recover your own fumbles as it is the opposition. You need to be alert, and you certainly don't want to lose possession of the game if you could possibly help it.
Spaghi and Solachik are the twin running backs behind Jack Swab on this possession. It's a gain of 4 after the fumble, and it's a 2nd down and 6 with 8:20 to play in the 3rd quarter.
Very intent, Coach Joe Medina.
There's Solacek, penalty marker out. Solacek almost lost the ball, but grabbed it in midair. I think we may have movement on Cascia Hall.
Well, Cassia's kept the ball on the ground in the first 2 possessions. They've had it here in the 3rd period and running some time off the clock, but don't be surprised if Coach Medina doesn't go upstairs again.
Illegal motion, I believe, was the call. Let's see what they want to do. They're going to step it off.
Illegal motion on the offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
So that'll bring up 2nd down and 11. Coach Medina sends in his play. Pritchard runs in the play, then comes near side and splits wide to the left. That's him at the bottom of your screen. 2nd down and 11 for Jack Swab and the Commandos. Looking for Pritchard. And the big guy goes up and grabs it. Oh, what a catch at the 20-yard line, and now he's got a cramp. Well, if you're going to have a cramp, best to do it right in front of your own trainer.
That's right. And after you have caught the ball, and here's just a nice pass in there by Jack Swab going up high with it. And, you know, when you've got a receiver like Rob Pritchard who can go up and get the ball, throw it up high. You notice there, and now he is really just throwing it real far up in the air, trying to get it over the defensive backs, which he does, and a great catch by Pritchard, and immediately he is wanting some help.
31-yard play. Swab to Pritchard.
He's getting some fluid while he's lying on the ground, but most of the time they can relax him, get him out, and get him right back on the field.
Well, if you really want your kids to stand out at school, let them run with a faster crowd. The lucky students with Cox high-speed internet. In Tulsa, call Cox at 665-0200 today and get 50% off the professional installation rate. In Oklahoma City, call 600-8282. Hurry, this offer won't last. Call Cox Communications today and get your kids off the fast track. Solacek running the ball inside.
Solacek was limping off a little while ago, but he's back in, and probably just the cramp for him as well.
Gain of about 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7. We're midway through the 3rd quarter. Cascia Hall with 20 second quarter points, and they lead it 20-9.
And they're really controlling the clock here in the 3rd period.
Yes, they are. Solacek over the right side. Bunch of arm tackling, allowing him to fall forward up to the 13-yard line. And so that'll make it 3rd down and 3.
Miller, Marbury, Donahue, Nebergall, Garrett doing an outstanding job interior line in the 3rd period here for the Commandos as they maintain possession of the football.
Pritchard brings in the play and then splits wide to the right. Swab on a short drop, throws a slant. Pritchard can't bring it down. And we got another Cascia Hall player with a cramp in the backfield.
You know, it's just almost every play now that one of the players is going down with a cramp, but that was a nice slant pattern run by Rob Pritchard. Just the ball was just a little bit behind him, and as fast as he was going, no way he could twist in midair and hang on to it.
Well, trainers will tell you a lot of the hydrating that you need to do needs to take place 24 hours ahead of the game. And
I think that's something that many times that players forget, that you really need to start putting that water in early.
We're going to take a break. 20-9, Cascia Hall leading Holland Hall. It's your Ford of Tulsa game of the week, and we'll be right back.
You're watching Cox Communications Channel 3, Oklahoma City, Channel 9, Tulsa. Local, like no one else.
Escape the summer heat and reap a harvest of savings in time for fall. Autumn Harvest, benefiting the Tulsa Madonna House, will be held on Saturday, September 21st from 9 to 5 at Bishop Kelly High School. This year's Autumn Harvest features 125 booths, offering a great variety of specialties, including jewelry, clothing, and seasonal items from over 85 crafters. And don't forget the delectable Harvest Pantry, stocked with handmade goodies sure to please every palate. For more information, call 585-5186.
Nothing on earth adds elegance and style to your home like granite, and it's more affordable than you think. At Surfaces on South Memorial, we'll help you plan and design natural stone creations for your home or business. Choose from stone from over 30 countries, and then our state-of-the-art fabrication shop will custom cut, finish, and install your kitchen countertop, fireplace, bathroom, or tabletop. Visit our showroom for samples and ideas on how you can add style and elegance to your home or office. Nothing's more durable, longer lasting, easier to care for, and yet affordable than granite. And nobody beats the price and customer service at Surfaces. 14602 South Memorial.
You see a lot of the players going down with cramps doing this. We talked about the humidity and what it's doing to these players and how important it is to get water. The official said before the game they would take a little more time doing their timeouts and coming out of halftime to give these guys to get some water, to get back hydrated, so you won't have stoppage of the game with guys having cramps and going down being dehydrated. Back to you guys.
Rod Thompson, thank you.
Well, you see this, though, in almost every football game in early September, late August in practice. You know, of course, on the college level, Mickey, you'll see them over there with hooked up to the machines. And
yeah, the IVs.
The IVs.
Spaghi is the player that's helped off the field with what we presume is a cramping problem. We're midway through the third quarter. Same score we had at halftime, 20-9, Cascia Hall leading Holland Hall. And right now, it's 4th down and 3. Perfect strike. And a first down. That's Johnson. My mistake. It's Romine, isn't it?
Yeah, Andrew Romine.
Andrew Romine.
He just gets out there in the right flat and is able to take it in and picks up the first down. Big play, big pass in there by Jack Schwab as well.
Well, thrown perfectly. It'll be 1st down and goal now up to the 8-yard line. Salachik diving over the top. I think he's got a cramp.
It's just almost every play, isn't it? And that one is hurting. Oh, my goodness. Andrew Romine taking care of him until the trainer gets out there, though. Good teammate.
We're going to take a break. 20-9 our score. Cascia Hall knocking on the door again. It's your Ford of Tulsa game of the week. We'll be right back.
You're watching Cox Communications Channel 3, Oklahoma City, Channel 9, Tulsa. Local, like no one else.
Father and son enjoy a day at the mall, shopping for back-to-school clothes.
Need anything?
Nah.
Good. Let's go eat.
Here's something your kids can't wait to try on. Cox High-Speed Internet. With its endless project ideas and research resources, it's the ultimate school supply. Kids get the whole world at their high-speed fingertips with no logins or long waits to slow them down. Call now to get 50% off your Cox High-Speed Internet installation.
I like shopping. Shopping is good.
Sundays, E uncovers the secrets of your favorite stars and shows.
My favorite show is E! True Hollywood Story.
It's the Emmy Award-winning series that's become a phenomenon. E! True Hollywood Story.
I like them a lot.
It's the story you haven't heard. Always new. Sundays at 8, only on E!
We now return to the Ford of Tulsa Game of the Week, exclusively on Cox Channel 9.
Here's our DiscoverTulsa.com question of the week. Which Green Country school has the best chance of winning a state championship this year? You can cast your vote throughout our ball game. Right now, Jenks is getting most of the votes, 47%. Union hanging tough there at 33%. Booker T has 11%, Bishop Kelly 3%, Cascia Hall 6%.
Well, you know, as you look at all 5 of those teams in publications that have been brought out here on the season, every one of those teams have an opportunity to win the championship in their class. But it seems like the Jinx fans are much, much more eager to vote them than some of the others. So, gosh, you still have time. Jump on it.
DiscoverTulsa.com. So Salachiks walking off the field under his own power. Cascia Hall is blessed to have a stable of running backs. So they'll make the substitution. Enlow's into the game. He takes the handoff over the left side, pushing the pile forward up to the 3-yard line.
Only a 9th grader, as we mentioned, Zach Enlow, number 7, but getting some valuable experience here in the great rivalry with Holland Hall.
Inside 5 minutes to play now in the 3rd quarter. Ball's been advanced up to the 3, so it's 3rd down and goal right there. Cascia Hall's working quickly. Enlaw again. Freshman is stacked up at about the 2-yard line, and that'll make it 4th down and goal. Get the impression Joe Medina just wants that clock to roll.
He definitely wants that clock to roll, but again, that interior defensive line for Holland Hall made up in there of Hanson, Harris, Bennett, Stewart, Detweiler, Janacek, playing some pretty good defensive football.
Spoggy checks into the game now. Be 4 minutes to play when they snap the ball. Spoggy's got it. Picking his way over the left side. But I think Holland Hall stood tall. And they hold a goal line stand for the Holland Hall Dutchmen, and they'll take over.
And you can tell by the reaction there of the Holland Hall players, Justin Butler, that you're looking at. Listen, that gives them a little energy, that gives them a little bit more enthusiasm, and it looked like for a moment that Cascia was going to get in, but that defensive interior line collapsed and stopped them.
Detweiler made the big hit there. That's the good news. Now the bad news for Holland Hall is they got to start at their own 1-yard line.
They are 99 yards away, and time will become a factor unless they can hit quick.
Let's see what happens here. Nathan Crosby, the senior quarterback, and his big tailback, Nick Bunning, another senior. Nice little quarterback sneak by Crosby. He advanced it past the 4-yard line, so it'll be 2nd down and about 7 coming up.
And, you know, that's always a smart play, I think, for the quarterback to do that. Get it out so you've got a little bit of room to go on. A lot of people disagree, thinking you're wasting a down, but maybe I'm from the conservative school of thought.
Two wide receivers left now for Crosby. He gives it to Bunning. The yardage is tough inside.
You know, thinking on a positive nature from a coaching standpoint, even though you're disappointed that you didn't come away with some points on the board from that possession, but if your defense can stand up and hold, why, you're right back in business in good field position.
Timeout on the field. We'll take a break. 20-9, Cascia Hall leading Holland Hall. We'll be back.
You're watching Cox Communications Channel 3, Oklahoma City, Channel 9, Tulsa. Local, like no one else.
Ah, the sweet sound of mother and daughter going shopping for back-to-school clothes. Fortunately, all parents and kids can agree on Cox High-Speed Internet. With its endless project ideas and research resources, it's the ultimate school supply. Kids get the whole world at their high-speed fingertips with no logins or long waits to slow them down. Call now to get 50% off your Cox High-Speed Internet installation before the cat's out of the bag.
Hi friends, Virgil Klaus for the Carpet Center. Did you know that ceramic tile is the floor covering for the future? With so many custom designs that can be done, many become art form. Slates, marbles, and granites can change the look of any area in your home. At the Carpet Center, we offer a wide selection from the largest importers in the United States. Don't forget our area rug gallery with several hundred rugs in stock, round, oval, and runners. Also custom designed natural fiber rugs. The Carpet Center at 121st and South Memorial.
Well, welcome back to Father Hamill Field in Tulsa. The Cascia Hall Commandos lead the Holland Hall Dutchmen 20-9 on your Ford of Tulsa Game of the Week. A series of cramping injuries here, mainly to the Cascia Hall side of the field, has slowed down the pace here in the third quarter. But Holland Hall is now ready to snap it. 3rd down and 8. Ball is sitting at their own 5-yard line. Crosby wants to throw. Going deep. And incomplete. Appeared to be trying to get it to Chris Boone. And it'll bring up a punting situation for the Dutchman. Make that Clayton Gibson the intended target.
Maybe a little miscommunication on that play as well.
Well, I think he felt like he had to throw it a little bit before he wanted to, and didn't quite give Gibson enough time to get to that spot. 4th down and 6. Punting situation. Park Reader on the field. Good punt. Taken at the 36. And it'll be a loss of 3 on the punt return. Pritchard was the ball carrier who was trying to get loose around the left side and didn't quite make the corner.
Well, Rob Pritchard, you know, he was really looking for just a little bit of room in there, because if he had gotten some, he felt like he could advance the ball a little farther.
Well, Pritchard can run, but it takes him a little bit to get going. And you got to corral him right when he gets the ball.
Which the coverage team that time for Holland Hall did an excellent job getting downfield.
Yes, they did. Jack Swab back in at quarterback for Cascia Hall with 2.5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Excellent field position. They'll start at the Holland Hall 40. Nice blocking over the left side. Running the ball was Taylor Hart. He had maybe the most exciting play of the game, that 31 yards on the fake punt. Really turned the momentum around right at the tail end of the first quarter. Gain of 7, 2nd and 3.
Both teams have had some outstanding individual play tonight.
Swab to Hart again up the middle, and this time the red shirts are there. Ball pushed up to the 32. It's going to be 3rd down and 2.
And Mick, even though it's the third quarter, well, I think you can already determine the philosophy of the coaching staff of Coach Joe Medina, that they want to maintain control of that football, keep that clock rolling, and do their utmost to maintain good field position.
An 11-point lead. Here comes Swab and the Commando offense again. Hart into the pile, second effort, and I think he got the first down. His initial penetration didn't get it for him, but he bounced off a defender, and Solacek leans forward and gets the first down up to the 29.
Well, one of the keys was attacking the intensity as far as Holland Hall was concerned, attacking the intensity of Cascia Hall, and I think Gavin Sedlacek that time certainly proved what that intensity can do for you, and the extra effort and the determination.
Hart is the right halfback. Solachik is the left halfback. The quarterback Swab still has it. Throws a pass downfield, and it's incomplete, and now penalty markers come out. Presumably defensive pass interference. Let's check it out. Now, you might argue that ball was not catchable, but in high school football, that doesn't matter.
No, you just kind of get it in the area, and if there's any type of contact in there, you're going to pick up the penalty. And they're stepping it off, which means defensive pass interference.
Pass interference on Holland Hall. That's 15 yards from the previous spot and an automatic first down. Let's take a look at it. You can see, I think the pass was going out of bounds anyway. Been really tough for the receiver to come down in bounds with the ball.
It would have been tough. It's hard to see the line right there, but that's the call that's made in high school.
Solachik up the middle and another touchdown. His second touchdown of the night, and he extends the lead to 26-9. Extra point hits the crossbar and is no good. Manuel Calvin with the soccer style attempt. But nonetheless, Cascia Hall has scored another touchdown. They've scored 26 unanswered points, and late in the third quarter, they lead at 26-9. JV, take a look at here. He right up the middle, banging off defender after defender, looking for pay dirt.
Just a lot of extra effort in there, and a great block up in front by the offensive line. You can see number 68 getting up there, Matt Butts, that really opened the hole, and Solachik just goes on in. He slips after he gets in there. I was thinking, my goodness, that's not another cramp, but it wasn't.
18 carries for 48 yards for Solachik, his second touchdown of the night. Rod Thompson.
I'm joined here now by the mascot, the Bulldogs, and some may ask why, if they're the Commandos, that they have a Bulldog as a mascot. But I asked the mascot, and he informed me that in World War II, the commanders who fought back then, they wore a patch that had a Bulldog on it. You have to be pretty tough to be a Commando, and this team is definitely like a Bulldog tonight. They're holding on tight to this league. Back to you guys.
That's a great-looking mascot.
Now I wonder how he got that information out of that Bulldog.
Well, they don't talk.
They don't talk, but I'll tell you what, Rod Thompson, he's the man. He can get it done on the sideline.
Our own Dr. Doolittle.
But now we know.
30 seconds left in the third quarter. Cascia Hall has really responded. 20 points in the second quarter. Now they only score in the third quarter, and they're getting ready to kick off.
Well, both the metropolitan newspapers have Cascia Hall ranked number 2 in the state, and rightfully so, what we have seen here tonight.
Calvin's going to kick off for Cascia Hall. And it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, way to go, yeah, whatever.
They'll spot the ball up to the 35-yard line. Let's see, what do they want to do? Ball went out of bounds at about the 17. Holland Hall is moving its offense on the field, so it appears they don't want them to kick it over.
No, I think they'll certainly take the penalty and try to get their offense on the board.
So Holland Hall will start at the 35. No time went off the clock because the clock doesn't start until a person on the receiving team touches the ball, and no one did.
And that's not bad field position to start after a score to get the ball on the 35-yard line.
Best field position Holland Hall has had to start a drive here in the second half. Good look at the 5-man front there for Cascia Hall. A defense that's at least 50 years old, popularized by Bud Wilkinson's Oklahoma teams in the 50s and now used by football teams across the country. Crosby had ideas of throwing, but he never got a chance. And Stu Price, who is putting together his own highlight tape tonight, gets the sack.
Stu Price has been in the backfield most of the night, hasn't he? And it seems like that in this situation, as the game goes on, maybe just having to play both ways, as a lot of the kids have to do, it becomes just a little more difficult to do.
Flushed from the pocket, and Stu Price was in the right place. That's the end of the third quarter. Cascia Hall's defense is playing extremely well. They've expanded their lead to 26-9. The fourth quarter is coming up. Don't go away.
You're watching Cox Communications Channel 3, Oklahoma City, Channel 9, Tulsa. Local, like no one else.
At Ford of Tulsa, we declare it's good to be king, and we promise to rise up to any challenge. The new Ford Explorer versus Chevy Trailblazer. Explorer costs less, it's roomier, has more safety features, and gets better gas mileage. The new Ford Expedition versus Chevy Tahoe. Expedition costs thousands less, has more torque, seating, and towing capacity, and better gas mileage. Ford of Tulsa, home of America's #1 selling trucks. No comparison. Like a rock, sinks every time.
Packed with power and performance, the new Gateway computers are going fast, and they'll go even faster with broadband. So get to your local Gateway store now to get great deals on our sleek new desktops, like the Gateway 500S. Powered by the Intel Pentium 4 processor, it has incredible speed. Then take full advantage of that speed with this offer on lightning-quick broadband internet access. Offer ends soon, so hurry into a Gateway store today.
We've got a whole new attitude
You're gonna love what you see.
that's bold, inside, and revealing. It's showtime. E has a new vision and a new commitment to connect you to the world of entertainment.
That's some good TV right there.
It's all happening now.
We now return to the Ford of Tulsa Game of the Week, exclusively on Cox Channel 9.
Well, maybe the internet upset of the season. Look at this. Which Green Country school has the best chance of winning a state championship this year? The fans from Cascia Hall have just come to life. Jenks was running away with it at last check, but now Cascia with 48%, Jenks at 25%, Union at 21%, Booker T. Washington at 5%, Bishop Kelly with 1%. Still not over, though. Get on to discovertulsa.com and cast your vote. We're ready to start the fourth quarter. Holland Hall has the ball at its own 30-yard line, 2nd down and 15. Crosby, play action, wants to throw. Fires it incomplete, and it'll be 3rd down and long.
Well, the Dutchmen are put into a situation here where they've got to more or less put the ball up in the air. They've got to get on the board quick as they trail 26-9, Mick, and we know exactly what's going to happen when the Cascia Hall Commandos get a hold of the football. They're going to work that clock.
3rd down and 15, 2 wide receivers left, 1 right for the quarterback, Nathan Crosby. Going deep, looking for a man, and he makes the play way downfield. That's Hartreeder. Jack Hartreeder, X-back, 5'9", 150 pounds.
And he's certainly been a favorite target there of Nathan Crosby tonight. And you see Crosby getting a time once again, getting the ball up high, and wide open Hartreeder dragging it in, tackled from behind by Bobby Laird.
Big gain all the way down to the 33-yard line. 37 yards on the play. So suddenly, Nathan Crosby and Holland Hall with a little kick in their step as they break the huddle. 1st and 10. Hand off. They're running wide. It's Nolte. And the ball's loose. Holland Hall has lost the football. Cascia Hall has recovered. Park Reader lost the football, recovered by Cascia Hall. And they'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 44-yard line.
And we got Hark Reader going around the right side, and you can see that everybody's closing in, and suddenly when the tackle occurs, the ball pops out, and Cascia Hall recovers again.
I think Jack Swab, the Cascia Hall quarterback, is the one that knocked it loose.
Well, that was one of the big keys of the game that Coach Tad Gross talked about with Rod at halftime was turnovers.
Flags come out, stops the clock with 11:36 to play. Little legal procedure, and they'll push Cascia Hall back about 5 yards.
You know, when you look at the fourth quarter, or you start looking at possessions and how many times are we going to get it in a 12-minute period, and the clock really becomes a big factor and makes you many times do things that you normally wouldn't do.
1st and 15. Good look at Jack Swab there. And the handoff. Ware and Spoggy put both hands around the ball, whether that's Solachik. Lost yardage, though. They moved the marks back about a yard, so it'll be 2nd down. Let's call it 16 from the 38.
Solachik that time slipping. You know, he slipped after he scored the touchdown in the 3rd period. Maybe the tape around his cleats are cutting down on the depth of them.
Pass to the near side to Calvin, who goes down low but can't bring it in. It'll be 3rd down and long. (26-9). Good look at Jack Swab getting the play from the sidelines.
Taylor, can you pump? Nope.
Swab considered consistent, 1st-year starter, a lot of poise, a lot of confidence. Hands off up the middle. Solachik into the pile. Gained about 3 or 4 yards, but most importantly for Cascia Hall, he kept the clock moving.
And you know that's exactly what they want to do, is to keep the clock moving continuously. And that's not to say that he won't put one upstairs on you. I'm talking about Coach Joe Medina. But basically he'll want to keep it on the ground as long as he can.
Coach Weller,
Cascia Hall has not punted in the 2nd half. And they may not get one off this time. And they don't. A bad snap, corralled by the punter, but a huge play by the Holland Hall defense. They come in and set up their offense back at the 28-yard line. 26-9, early 4th quarter. It's your Ford of Tulsa game of the week, and we'll return.
You're watching Cox Communications Channel 3, Oklahoma City, Channel 9, Tulsa. Local, like no one else.
You're scared.
You need new customers.
Replacements.
Your crap makes people go away. Forever.
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 Permanent.
That's your plan.
Tobacco man.
Thinking we're easy prey? To use and destroy.
To use and destroy.
But you leave a trail in your wake.
It's hard to miss body bags. Well, smoke this.
We have a plan too.
Tulsa's most accurate and dependable weather coverage with Chief Meteorologist Travis Meyer. Live team coverage of the top local and national news stories from the KRMG 24-hour news center. On the hour, half hour, and when it breaks. Frequent traffic updates on the 9s. On your way to and from work. Helping you get where you need to be. The information you need when you need it. Tulsa's Weather, News, and Traffic Authority is News Talk 740 KRMG. Depend on it.
Welcome back. Mick Cornett, J.B. Haney, and Rod Thompson on a sweltering late summer night in Tulsa, Oklahoma. 26-9 our score. Holland Hall set up 1st and 10 at the 29. This is Bunning over the right side. Really nice pickup all the way down to the 20-yard line. Nick Bunning. There he is, 6'1", 195-pound senior.
Now, you know the Dutchmen are thinking this, Mick. If we can score real quickly, maybe and then force a turnover, that we can get right back in this game. So I know that you could ask either coaching staff, and they'd say there's still a lot of football left.
Certainly, it's not over. I formation behind Crosby. Hands off to Bunning. He's stretching forward. Didn't need much for the first down, and it looked as if he got it. They advanced the ball up to the 16-yard line, and it is a first down for the Dutchmen.
Tremendous effort in there by Nick Bunning, getting that extra 2 yards. You see, he pretty much does it on his own. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, but it's a big step and a lunge, and that's just great individual effort.
So that sets up 1st and 10. From the 16, ball's loose. Crosby never got a hold of it. Cascia Hall players say they've taken over. And they have.
Well, it looked like it could have been Chris Boone. He was the one that came out of there last. That's 5 turnovers on the part of Holland Hall. And, you know, as Coach Tad Gross talked about at halftime, you just cannot afford to do that. And that's been the big difference so far in the game.
That'll kill you. Take a look at it here, and it never even got to him.
Looked like it might have hit the center's leg as he snapped it.
1st and 10 now from the 16. Like Taylor Hart took the ball over the left side. He didn't get much. In fact, he lost yardage. Bring up 2nd down and 13. It'll be inside 9 minutes to play when they snap the ball again.
And you know the Commandos are going to use every tick on that clock that they can use on every play.
I'll tell you, Holland Hall's defense, though, knows it. I mean, they are play and run right now. The linebackers are filling the gaps, and there's not going to be any room inside.
Well, when they move in to an 8 or a 9-man line, watch out, because they will be going upstairs.
It's time for the DiscoverTulsa.com Tedford Insurance Question of the Week. Which Green Country school has the best chance of winning a state championship this year? Fans across the state have been voting online, and here's our latest results. Cascia Hall with 54%. Union and Jenks now tied for second at 20%. Booker T. Washington at 4%. Bishop Kelly with 2%. Still time for you to cast a vote. Go to DiscoverTulsa.com and cast your ballot.
On the exchange, covered by Cascia.
Looked like a fumble on the exchange there, but Cascia Hall fell on it, and a very meager possession there by the white shirts, and they'll go in and punt it away.
Well, with less than 8 minutes to play, again, that clock really becomes a factor, and you can see that Tad Gross over there certainly realizes it.
This snap's back in good shape. High punt off the side of the foot, not real far, and it takes a Holland Hall bounce, and this is going to be excellent field position. The Dutchman will take over at the 26-yard line. 16-yard punt.
Special teams always such an intricate part of a successful football team, and I think both coaches would probably be working a little more on their special teams this coming week.
Zach Emmel and Kevin Lewis are the wide receivers. They go wide to the right. Jack Hartreader goes wide to the left. Quarterback is Nathan Crosby. Steps up into the pocket and runs out of time.
Andrew Romine just really coming in from his defensive tight end position, putting the hammer on the quarterback.
Well, I think Crosby was thinking about just taking off and running, but about the time he had to make a decision, he didn't have it anymore. Loss of 2, so it'll go down as a quarterback sack. 2nd down and 12. Inside 7 minutes to play now in the ball game. Short drop. Pass out, caught. Zach Emmel breaking loose down the sidelines. He goes all the way for the touchdown. What a burst of speed Zach Emmel put on Cascia Hall, and Holland Hall has scored its second touchdown of the game.
And you know the thing that you look at, if you're trailing, you're looking at a two-possession game now, and with 6:48, you can get the ball twice.
12-yard touchdown, Crosby to Emmel. Crosby's second touchdown of the night. First score of the game was a 9-yarder to Harkreeder. Extra point goes through. They have pulled to within 10 with 6:48 to play. We'll take a break. 26-16. It's your Ford of Tulsa Game of the Week.
You're watching Cox Communications Channel 3, Oklahoma City, Channel 9, Tulsa. Local, like no one else. This is the field. This is the stands. Open the gates and let in the fans. It's time for local high school football. And Cox Communications wants to see you at the game when the Sapulpa Chieftains take on the Owasso Rams. Thursday, September 12th at 7:30. The Cox 9 television crew will be there covering the game live. And we want to see you in the stands, yelling and screaming for your team. Sapulpa versus Owasso. Thursday, September 12th at Owasso High School. Kickoff, 7:30.
Think you've seen it all? Watch this. Unbelievable Wednesday nights on TBS Superstation. All new Ripley's Believe It or Not. And this summer, Worst Case Scenario, the best-selling survival handbook comes to life. Ripley's Believe It or Not at 7 and Worst Case Scenario at 8. Unbelievable Wednesdays, 7 Central, only on TBS Superstation.
We now return to the Ford of Tulsa Game of the Week, exclusively on Cox Channel 9.
By the Cascia Hall players. Reason for the slight delay.
Stu Price that time suffering, and what a defensive game he has had. Come limping off, but I'm sure with just a little massage and relax for a second, he'll be back in the game.
Well, Holland Hall will kick it off. It's in a situation where you might think about an onside kick. Down by 10, 6:48 to play. Let's see what they want to do. There's your answer. They're going to kick it deep. Try to pin the return man deep into the corner. Works pretty well. Pretty good return by Pritchard across the 20 up to the 23. Let's take a look at that touchdown, and great job by Nathan Crosby of hanging in there because he's about to get whacked. And then Emmel speeds down the sidelines after breaking a tackle.
Well, Crosby's really had a good game. He's 7 of 15, 115 yards passing and 2 touchdowns, and he gets quite a lick coming in there by number 22. Gavin Solacek.
That's a great job by our camera crew, too. It's great pictures. Right up the middle. And a little reverse by Solacek. We just saw made that tackle while I was here making the run. Gained about 10 yards. Let's see if he got the first down. They're looking at it.
And he's experienced at least a half a dozen times where he's had cramps, but he's a warrior. He comes right back.
Picked up 9 yards and 2 feet. Second and short. Just over 6 minutes to play in the ball game. Cascia Hall with a 10-point lead, trying to nurse the clock. And off again up the middle. Holland Hall trying to tackle the football. Solacek holds on to it. Across the 35 to the 36, and that time they'll move the chains. So the clock stops momentarily while they reset the chains. And now they start the clock again. So they'll have 30 seconds or so before the next snap.
The Commandos certainly would just like to grind it out here and keep picking up those first downs. Not necessarily looking for a score. They'd like to, but they want that clock to run.
Solacek with both hands on the ball. Now he breaks clear. 45-50. Cuts back. A stiff arm. 40-38-yard line. more cramping. I called that Solacek, but it was Taylor Hart. Taylor Hart, 2, not 22, bursting outside. Take a look here. Hart with both hands on the ball, cuts to the outside, JV.
And then he shifts that ball over on the right side, makes a little dip in, and gets rid of Kevin Lewis. But Nick Bunning comes in to put the hammer on him, and then he grabs that leg with a cramp.
First down and 10. Cascia Hall advancing the ball up to the 38. Jack Swab, the quarterback, has gone all the way. And this time it's Solacek. Slicing through the red jerseys across the 35 up to the 32-yard line.
And the Commandos keeping control of the football and keeping control of the clock as we move under 5 minutes now, Mick.
You see Tag Gross.
Not much you can do now, is there?
Gain of 6, second down 4. Solacek. Across the 30, penalty marker coming into the pile. He was a couple of yards short of the first down. Let's see what the officials saw. We got holding on the offense. And that's costly. That'll be 10 yards, most likely from the spot. And that'll push him back to the 40-yard line.
You know, we talked about this in the first half, but for those who just joined us, the man in the white hat making the call. 50 years. Tuggle Bond from Bartlesville in his 50th year as a high school football official. Remarkable record.
Second down, 11. Ball at the 39. Three-step drop for Swab. Throws, completes it to Pritchard. Look at him ramble across the 30 and close to a first down at the 28.
And Ron Pritchard really showed you some running right then that we've talked about, how he can take the ball after he catches it, but he tucked the hit and had the little spin move. Now that's a good receiver and a good runner. Rob Pritchard there, number 86 for Cascia Hall, and we'll get a good look here, Mick.
Well, Pritchard, he's a little shaken up. He's seeing stars, I think. He kind of wandered off the field, took his helmet off, and just kind of shook his head and smiled, like he wasn't exactly sure where he was. But he's going to take a breather over there on the sidelines.
But when you're catching that football, you'll recover very quickly.
Third and short, Solacek goes straight ahead, jumps over the pile, and that's what he needed to do to get the first down. Gets it up to the 26. Clock stops momentarily with 3.5 to play in the ball game. And they start the clock. Bunning made the stop for Holland Hall. New set of downs, first and 10. Solacek over the left side. Boy, Solacek has been the workhorse. Get a quick check on the number of carries for Solacek tonight.
You know, I used the wrong expression a while ago when I referred to him as a warrior. He's a commando. Figure of speech that I was referring to.
29 carries, 26 carries, 95 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Solacek. There's his quarterback, Jack Swab.
And you know, most running backs, when they get at 26, they like to carry it 36.
That's Taylor Hart.
And Taylor Hart has been a very important part of the Cascia Hall offense tonight. You know, his little halfback pass, and he certainly has run the football with authority.
Well, tonight's DiscoverTulsa.com Tedford Insurance Question of the Week results are in. When asked which Green Country school has the best chance of winning a state championship this year, 50% chose Cascia. Union ended up second place, Jenks third, Booker T. Washington fourth, and Bishop Kelly fifth. Thanks to everyone who participated in our DiscoverTulsa.com Tedford Insurance Question of the Week. We appreciate it. 2nd down and 13 for Cascia Hall. Solachik. He's trying to get 100 yards tonight. And Holland Hall calls a timeout.
Well, that's always a magic number for a running back, isn't it? To pick up 100 yards in a game. And to do it on a night with the humidity and the temperature like it is here at Father Hamill Field would be quite an award and reward for him.
Well, the next time you can see Golden Hurricane football here in Tulsa on Cox will be Saturday, September 14th. TU heads to Ruston, Louisiana to play the defending WAC champion Louisiana Tech Bulldogs. The game airs live on Fox Sports Southwest at 1 o'clock. That's channel 27 in Tulsa and channel 37 in Oklahoma City on Cox Cable. Tulsa and La Tech. Of course, La Tech and Oklahoma State recently played a whale of a game. La Tech winning it with a furious fourth quarter rally.
Well, many people take Louisiana Tech not too seriously, but they won the Western Athletic Conference last year and certainly have one of the outstanding quarterbacks in the nation, and it's not a surprise when they win.
Let's go down to Rod Thompson.
You think about rivalry, these teams are not giving up. Holland Hall being down 26-16. Expression of their coach. You see him over there encouraging his team, playing hard. These two coaches, like you said, have a good friendship, and they both want to win and both want to compete. And hats off to both of them because the teams are playing really hard. Back to you guys.
You are right, Rod. Cascia Hall fumbles, recovers it themselves, and that brings up a 4th down and long situation, just under 2 minutes to go. Take a look here. I'm not sure exactly where the ball came from, but it was. Let's look here. Solachik has it. Oh, I know he never really got it, did he? The handoff was botched.
And the quarterback, Jack Schwab, comes back and makes the recovery. It looked like as he fumbled it, someone kicked it, and it came right back. And luckily, Jack Schwab was in the right position to fall on the football.
Well, the Holland Hall coaching staff sending a message to its players, and that is, we do not give up.
Absolutely.
It would be real easy for them to just say, we're going to go to the locker room, not call these timeouts. But I like this approach. I mean, I think in the first game of the year, you've got to teach your players early on, we'll quit trying when the game ends, but until then, we're going to do everything we can to try to score points and win the game.
Because you never know when being able to do just what you're talking about will come back and help them.
We're going to sign off at this time due to technical reasons, but we will have this game in its entirety on replay. We hope you'll join us right here. Right now, our score, Cascia Hall 26, Holland Hall 16. Thanks for joining us tonight. Those of you watching us on the playback tonight, seeing the punt and the punt return, we appreciate you participating in our broadcast tonight. And Holland Hall will have one last gasp to try to score a touchdown. They'll have the ball at the 24-yard line with 1:43 to play.
And you know what you were talking about, Mick? They absolutely, I mean, they're playing like right now, let's hit a home run. Let's do an onside kick and recover. We're 2 possessions out. And you've got to think positive, and you've got to go at it with that attitude.
Nathan Crosby has gone the distance for Holland Hall. In the pocket, throws, incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Here is the intended receiver, Tyler Pagel. Double tight ends, as Holland Hall has done much of the night. Now airing it out. Looking deep for Gibson, and he's got it. He's at the 30. Can he get there? 20, 10, 5. Touchdown. 77 yards. Clayton Gibson. And suddenly it's a 26-22 ball game. And
that goes back to what we were talking about, Mick. You know, it's never over as long as there's a chance, as long as there's a seconds on the clock, why a lot of things can happen in an athletic contest, and we are witnessing one of them right now. Great run, great receive in there by Clayton Gibson. Now we have to look for the onside kick, and a lot of things can happen here in a minute and 27 seconds.
Crosby's third touchdown of the night, passing.
And this is really a big extra point, because getting it would put you in field goal range to tie. And keep in mind, we have overtimes in high school, so this is a real big extra point.
Well, you're absolutely right. Snaps back in good shape. Strong kick, splits the uprights. We got a 3-point game. A minute 27 to play. Cascia Hall clinging to a 26-23 lead over its arch rival Holland Hall. As so often happens in this great rivalry, things occur in the last quarter that you can't anticipate. And here you see Crosby going back and really going upstairs, lobbing it over the defensive back there, number 11, Bobby Laird, and Gibson is on his way. Stretches that ball out. If you're wondering why that wasn't a fumble, the moment it touched the ground, it was in the end zone. So that's a touchdown. Play is dead. Touchdown counts. Watch it here. Good call by the official, who you'll notice is in position to be able to tell. He's kind of on line with the receiver, although he's starting to get outrun now. And then you see reaching in. Well, his knee was coming down. That was a tough call for the official. But I think they looked at where the ball hit. His knee was coming down about the same time. Could have gone either way, but we have instant replay, and they don't. And the instant that ball goes across the goal line plane, then that is the touchdown. What happens after that is of no concern. So I think it was a good call by the official, and you pointed out he was down there where he could see. Well, now we find our onside kick, and I'm sure that Coach Medina's got his skilled people in there to try to get the ball and cover it. Well, a lot of wacky things can happen right here. Cascia Hall's got 10 guys up at where they hope is going to be an onside kick, one guy deep. Minute 27 to play. The kicking team trails by 3. Oh, so close. Holland Hall got a player on it, and it went 10 yards. I'm not sure what the penalty marker would be for. It appeared that it had gone 10 yards, and a Holland Hall player touched it, and then it went out of bounds, which in my mind would not be a penalty unless they saw something I did not. I thought it went out of bounds maybe before he touched it. Well, if so, that would be a penalty. Yeah. But we will get Tuggle Bond's impression of it. Hard for us to see from our vantage point with the players right there.
Gavin, 2 hands, baby, 2 hands. We got illegal procedure on the kick. Kick the ball out of bounds. Take the ball at the spot where it went out of bounds. Okay. First down. It's ruled that they kick the ball out of bounds. So the receiving team will take over at the 46-yard line. With a minute 27 to play, it would mathematically be all but over. Cascia Hall would not need to gather a first down. I don't think Holland Hall has more than one timeout left. But let's see. Yeah, they're taking a knee. And the clock rolls. So Holland Hall has no timeouts left, apparently. Letting it go. Well, that was a real close call over here on the near side on that onside kick, because Holland Hall had a player. I thought it was Clifford Bennett that was really streaking right down the sideline. Had he been able to catch that, then we would have had some action here at the end. And you can see Tag Gross over there, along with Coach Philbrick, wondering what could have happened. Another snap, another knee. Take a look at it here. The ball has to go 10 yards before the kicking team can touch the ball. Really a really good kick. Yeah, I think a big hop. And it went 10 yards, but there it goes up and touched by the kicking team. No, that was Jack Hartreader back there that was doing that. Third down, trying to force a fumble, and they did. But Cascia Hall recovered. I think they may have blown it dead beforehand. Holland Hall's defenders are really teeing off on that center. I would notice that because at one time in my life I was a center, and that's no fun. They really pick on centers, don't they?
the 2002 showdown between Cascia Hall and Holland Hall is over, and Cascia Hall has escaped with a win. Let's go down to Rod Thompson.
Here with Coach McGinnity, congratulations on a big win. You said it would be tough. This team could come back pretty close, 26-23, but you guys came up with the win.
The second half was a matter of survival, and we survived.
You came up big. They came back with the big score. But like you said, your guys gutted out. You came in with some plays, was able to hold the ball.
Yeah.
What does this mean to your team going into this season?
We're 1-0, and this was a good football team that we played, and we're going to build a lot of confidence off of this win.
Congratulations, Coach. Big win.
Thank you for being here.
Back to you guys.
All right, Rod, thank you. Well, Solachik never did get to the 100-yard mark. Official statistics up here, 27 carries, 96 yards, 2 touchdowns. We're going to take a break as the players shake hands. 26-23, Cascia Hall is your winner on your Ford of Tulsa Game of the Week. We'll be back with the final word.
You're watching Cox Communications Channel 3, Oklahoma City, Channel 9, Tulsa. Local, like no one else.
Joined here now by Coach Gross at the Holland Hall. Came up a little short, but you guys fought and stuck with it, came up with a big play. What are you going to talk to you guys about in the huddle?
I was proud of the fact they didn't quit. They played real hard all night. Our defense played real well. We stopped them on the goal line situation second half and played good football stopping the run. We just made too many mistakes offensively in that second and third quarter against a good football team. Cash is a very good football team. Sound, they don't make a lot of mistakes, and they made mistakes early, and we didn't quite capitalize, but they're a good football team.
First game of the season, how do you get your guys to bounce back and get ready and get past this one?
Well, we got to. We play Berry Hill next week. They're a tough team, but I think we can take a lot from this. Cash is ranked number 2 in the state, and this is the best we played them in quite a while. So
good luck, Coach. Good job on the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
All right, Rod Thompson, thank you. JV, take a look at the final stats.
Well, you look at the final stats there in the total yardage, 240 for Holland Hall and 247 for Cascia Hall, about as close as the score can get, right? And even in the rushing yards, why Cascia really dominated in the second half because they were using the clock as well. But the most important point on the stat is 5 turnovers by Holland Hall. And I think Coach Taggross would agree that you just can't turn the ball over that many times and come out a winner.
26-23, the final score. I want to thank the Cox crew, producer Randy Carson. It's been a great night with some beautiful pictures, and hope you enjoyed the ball game. For Rod Thompson and J.V. Haney, I'm Mick Cornett. Cascia Hall won it over Holland Hall, 26-23. Join us next Thursday night for another game on Cox Communications coverage of Oklahoma high school football.
preceding program was produced through the facilities of the Production Services Group at Cox Communications. You're watching Cox Communications Channel 3, Oklahoma City, Channel 9, Tulsa. Local, like no one else.